Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Michigan with the TDR Vets and First Responders League. I'm joined in the booth by Jay Downham and Tommy Abear and in-car reporter Brad Hunt. Jay, how do you feel about tonight?
Man, I am loving tonight. We're up here in Michigan. This track is a little on it's not high bank, but it's fast, it's furious. And if anybody's seen what went on Friday night, we're going to have a good show tonight with these boys out here. What do you think, Tommy?
Well, Michigan, not my favorite track. I've had to watch it twice over the last 3, 4 days. I'd much rather be watching the action out there than having to be involved in it.
Well, you've been calling it. You saw a good race on Friday night with the Autism Awareness 200 out here, which is only 20 laps slower, or 20 laps less than what we saw on Friday night.
Yeah, heck of
Uh,
an event. They raised close to $500 for the sensory specific autism trail up in Letchworth Park. So, congratulations to those guys and big thanks to everyone who contributed.
Absolutely. We send out a big thank you to, like we said, everybody, and welcome to the Vets and First Responders League tonight. For so far, I'm showing 10 cars that have shown up. 9 have taken the track. There's only one that has not yet. And we're waiting on one more who hopefully will make it in here. And I'm not sure if anybody can guess who we're missing, but it's a big name out there.
I cannot say his last name.
Zimmerman?
Oh, Zimmerman. Oh, Zimmerman, but I thought you were talking about Luke, a newcomer.
No.
I thought we
We
were
also have, yep,
talking
Luke
about
Desjardins, who
our,
is a newcomer.
our in car reporter.
Bradley Hunt?
Where is he?
Yes. Actually, Zimmerman just checked in, so we have
Oh,
Zimmerman who did show up for tonight. So with 7 minutes left, hopefully he can get his legs underneath of him here as we roll around for 80 laps tonight. 2 miles long. That's 160 miles are going to be going on this. What did they say? Medium banked oval or D-shaped oval,
wait,
but high speed, very high speed, and very slippery.
you alluded to this track as we raced it Friday night in the charity race, and I had a fun time in it. Jay, I know you were involved in that race. Tommy, you were up in the booth. You didn't get to experience this track, but Jay, you and I got some valuable information from Robert Cochran
Yes,
about
we
the.
did. And I'll let you share that, Dustin, since, he gave it more to you than he did me, but that's okay. I carried that knowledge in the back of my head. I filed it away in file 13. So go ahead and let them know what's going on out here tonight at Michigan.
Robert Cochran learned really quick, and Ryan Shelton got this information from him that right side tires actually work on this track. So we might see some two tires stops on this race.
That would
And
shake things up a bit.
yeah, it will. And if anybody saw that race on Friday night, there was also a lot of good information that was given that these guys could have transferred over to here, and we'll see who paid attention and who didn't. I'm not going to release any information, but I know that one guy that sits on top of the leaderboard wins basically every week, had a little bit of trouble. And if it wasn't for a lucky yellow that he who must not be named was involved in to help him get that win on Friday, it would have been a very troubled event. So if anybody knows who that is, they can pump it out in track. I know there are a couple of guys out there as we reach out. Brad Hunt said, let's go. Janelle Valduzen. Janelle, good to see you out there. Good evening. How are you?
Janelle needs to join us in the booth one of these nights.
Absolutely. Stephen Green says, good luck, guys. And he also said that he's in the hospital and hoping to be back to wheel behind the room soon. So, Stephen, I hope you really do feel better and get out here and start racing again. We do miss you, buddy. My sister Sharon, who's always in here, she would know who the person that must not be named, which helped give Ryan the win. She would know who that was. She'd be able to answer that soon. I believe Janelle would too. And Tom Roll drops in, said, good evening, guys. Good evening,
Good
Tom.
evening,
Good to
Tom.
see you out there. And thanks for coming out and supporting these guys. We really appreciate it. As we're rolling around with 5 to go in practice.
I don't see a lot of people making mistakes out there like we saw in practice for the Michigan race on Friday. Everyone seems pretty well in control of their car, not really testing the limits. A lot of the names you see out there were around on Friday night as well, either watching or on track.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. Jay would allude to this, but turns one and two were the trickiest part of that race, in my opinion.
See, now I didn't have any trouble in turns 1 and 2. I had more trouble down in 3 and 4. When I did my practice run, I learned that you could really like take it well deep into turn 1 and 2. And if you backed off early, I was getting loose. But if I drove it in harder into turn 1 and 2, I was actually able to hold the car down a little bit more. Turn 3 and 4 was my trouble spot, especially going into turn 3. For the first 10 laps, I mean, I was sideways, and when that track got overcast, it got a little more loose. So that's what kind of kept me from getting back to you there later on in the run, Dustin. But you had a good run. I mean, you finished what, second in that race, did you not?
Yeah, I finished second in it. One thing I learned is that you don't want to get fully off the throttle. You feel like you got to let off a lot more than what you do, and when you let off the fully off the throttle, that's where everything comes into play. That's when the looseness comes into play. And I look at Ryan Shelton out there tonight. He had a pretty good practice in that race on Friday night. He's got to be my choice to win tonight, just because he had that practice on the track that night.
Well, that's an easy choice to make.
Well, yeah, I could catch him, and I'm not very fast, so.
It's funny watching the Talladega broadcast last night over on Fox. They went to go, the ones to watch, and Dale Jr. picks 2 guys, leaving the easiest pick for Larry Mack. And Larry Mack's like, "How are you gonna do me like that?" Dale Jr.'s like, "Well, I thought being the guest, I got 2 picks."
Well, that's how it works, right?
Right? Yeah, you're a guest. You come in, you get 2 picks. I mean, so that's how it rolls, I guess, up there in the booth. But no, it should be a fun race to watch. Ryan Shelton, like we said, alluded to, does have the experience, does have the win here from Friday night. He had to really drive back, though, from a mistake that put him down back in the field. So
Yeah.
I know that mistakes can happen on pit road. These guys are not immune to it. And it's fast going to slow and getting off of that onto that pit road, going from that 18 degrees down to that flat. I mean, you can spin the tires, you can get it turned sideways, and we've seen Thompson, Zimmerman, and Shelton all have issues on pit road this year. So hopefully that'll won't be an issue tonight. I love to see those guys get up there and fight it out. But there is another person that is right now third in third in practice right now, who has more confidence than a prouder peacock, I believe, going into this race. And that's Chuck McDonald. He had a huge win yesterday, if anybody saw it.
He had a huge win last night that was broadcasted on
1 to go.
1 to go. He had an awesome pit strategy. I'm wondering, Tommy, can we pull Chuck down in the booth and get his thought on that win?
I think we should.
It was his birthday. It was a win. He had an awesome pit strategy. I think we should get him on the booth and get a talk about that.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get him dialed up. Hey,
Okay.
Chuck, this is Tommy up in the booth. Man, you got a read on us?
Yes, sir.
Well, happy belated. We all heard what you pulled off last night. What's your strategy coming into tonight with all the momentum from last?
Nothing ever changes. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
You had an awesome pit strategy. You pitted on the last caution at like lap 41 or 42, whatever it was. It worked out really good for you. Were you confident on that pit strategy last night, or were you a little leery about it?
I was kind of confident on it. When I come out of the pits, I seen how many laps I had. Normally, I'll shut off and coast whenever I get a chance. So I did that. So I stayed a little bit more. Basically, when we went green, I said, I've got enough fuel. I think I can make the tires last. And that's what I'm going to do. I made up my mind to do it.
Well, and that's what you did. You came home with a win last night in the first round of the playoffs and gas and go. You got to feel confident going on more than likely in the next round. Do you have any advice for anybody out there that's racing these cars that in iRacing that they should know?
Sometimes slower is faster.
I love it.
That's all I can say, really. I mean, don't beat up your stuff. I mean, not to take away from them, but the McCanns I consider them to be the best, and they're fast.
Yeah, they are.
And the fastest car did not win yesterday.
Sometimes strategy outlasts fast.
Yeah, sometimes. If you got to get to the end, and all I did was save what I had. That's it.
All right,
All right.
Chuck. Well,
Well-
put you back down there. You got qualifying to go. Congratulations on your win yesterday. Go get them tonight. Hey, you beat the big boys before. Let's see you do it again tonight. Love
Yeah,
to see that. So
good
good luck
luck.
to you, bud.
Good luck tonight, Chuck.
Have a good night, fellas.
Take care, buddy. Happy belated.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
So while these guys are out on qualifying laps, I think we got to pay some bills, Tommy. What do you think?
We sure do. Money's a little tight around here.
We'll start with B&B Wraps.
B&B Wraps, longtime sponsor of the Back Charities, Tyler Daniels Racing, Veteran and First Responders Only League. We use them for a lot of stuff that the charity's doing with real life race cars around the country. They also provide the season trophies since season 1, so this will be the 5th season they're doing that for us. We can't thank Jeremy and his team over there enough. Facebook.com/B.B Racing Wraps. From coffee cups to semi trucks, if you need it wrapped, they can get it done.
McConey Setup Shop.
I said it once, I've said it again, I'll say it for the millionth time. Jeff McConey needs no introduction. His team over there at McConey Setup Shop do an awesome job. They're registered as an LLC, so they're accountable for the product they put out. On occasion, they run contests. They offer coaching, asphalt setups, dirt setups, custom setups, and more, as well as subscriptions to iRacing seasons. Check them out at McConeySetupShop.com/ oh wait, no slash. Just McConeySetupShop.com.
Back Charities.
Sorry, Jeff, I messed that one up.
First mess up in about 3 years. You're fine.
Yeah. Hey, we're not perfect.
We're never perfect.
Now, Back Charities, I don't want to go into too much about what the charity does specifically on this particular broadcast, but I want to thank everyone who contributed to the charity event we held Friday night for the Sensory Specific Autism Trail in Letchworth, New York, or Letchworth Park in upstate New York. We raised almost $500 in conjunction with a group called Film Heat, who ran a bracket style movie elimination thing, kind of sister to what we did with Back Charity. So thank you to everyone who was involved with that. On behalf of the charity, we made the world a better place.
Yeah, and you touched on the Film Heat, our last sponsor. I couldn't get their graphic to work, but they did an awesome job. You joined them in the in their podcast on Saturday night. Awesome show. Me and my wife Janelle enjoyed every minute of it. Don't want to give out any spoilers, but there might have been a couple upsets in that bracket.
There certainly were, and I will just, the only thing I will say is that Talladega Nights, Days of Thunder, were movies that were on the list. That's all I'll give away. But while Film Heat's not an official sponsor of the league, huge shout out to them for helping us with that charity event with Back Charities. I had a ton of fun up there. Those guys are great to hang out with, great to listen to. Even if you're not, even if you're just into movies, not necessarily into like racing or racing films, great podcast to check out. They go live. What is it? Saturdays at 8:30, and then you can find them anywhere you get podcasts.
Anywhere you can get podcasts. That was the thing I got out of that, is anywhere you can get podcasts. That was the best catch line.
Literally anywhere you can get podcasts. I guess they got them all.
They got them all. No, good guys over there, and we thank them for coming in together with Back Sports, Back Charities, and sponsoring the race on Friday night. And we're all here to have fun. I mean, in the end. Jay, what are you seeing on the qualified leading board there?
I see Ryan Shelton out front. Larry Patrick, who is kind of a sleeper, but I saw his name pop up a couple times so in practice. He's sitting right there in P2 at almost 2/10 behind. Nicholas Smith is also up on the leaderboard. So Stryker is bringing the heat tonight. That firefighter that we got, he's bringing the heat P3 right now. Ethan Thompson back in 5th. Robin Pardon, another one we don't talk about. It's tight on the leaderboard, guys, here in the qualifying session.
It's about time. Stryker reminds me of a young Joey Logano. He's got everything it takes to get there, but it takes him a little while to get fired up through his season. I think we're going to see a little more out of him as we go through. I think there's, including this one, 5 races left in the season.
Absolutely, and reaching out there, Paul Vosberg. Man, we miss you, buddy. We're missing Paul. He comes in every once in a while, but he's on assignment in Tucson, Arizona right now. So he's on a fire assignment. So real life is obviously a little more important than what we do out here on a weekly basis. But we do miss you, buddy. So good luck and stay safe out there. And let's
didn't mean to speak over there, Jay. My headset cut out for a second.
That's okay. You're good. All right, now I got some information here that may be of interest to everybody as we got 5 minutes left to qualifying here.
Does it involve the
Um,
letters D and Z?
D and Z, it does, and it also involves him being in P1 in the points. 359 over Ethan Thompson, 344. Andrew Bisnett, 326. Ryan Shelton at 325. 1 point separates now Shelton and Bisnett. But if Ryan maintains the pole, that means he's going to actually now be tied with Andrew Bisnett going into this race.
Oh, I thought you were going to spill the beans on Devin Zimmerman.
Yeah, it's P1. But I do not see his name on the leaderboard right now. So
Devin
hopefully he can get out
Zimmerman
there.
is in session, just hasn't
He's
laid
in
down
session.
that qualifying
So,
lap.
so a little birdie whispered in my ear down on pit road.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-oh.
His wife brought the car to the track. She signed the forms. Car's in the infield. Devin might not make it to the car.
Oh, no. Well, maybe his wife can jump in and do the first few laps for him, and then they can do a driver switch just so that way he maintains the points.
Yeah, anything to preserve points. Mrs. Zimmerman, if you're out there, hop
Hop in that car.
seat, take control of the situation. Just keep it clean. Don't wreck it. Park it in the pit when Mr. Zimmerman gets home.
Well, I think Mr. Zimmerman has a little T-ball that he has to be at this time of year. So he's doing his dadly duty.
That's right.
I understand
Fatherly duties. And we are probably going to start with about 10 or 11 in the field tonight. Two have not taken a lap. Robert Cochran has been having some issues tonight, but he is in session.
He is putting out a qualifying lap right now.
Okay, so yeah, so we have him. We have Devin Zimmerman that needs to get out there, and even if his wife puts down a 2 minute and 12-second lap on the qualifying, at least he'll be starting the field, getting some points with that. And Robert Cochran and Chuck McDonald round out our 5 and 6 spot, 306, 302. Robin Pardon, 284 in 7th. Bradley Hunt, 282 in 8th. Nicholas Smith, 240 in 9th. And Paul Vosberg, 176, rounds out our top 10. Brent Kohler, who hasn't really been here, he's in and out, but he has been strong when he has shown up a couple of times. Holds out 11th spot with 137. 12th spot with Stephen Green, 134, and Michael Green with 13th and 98 points. So realistically, it's going to come down to can Ryan actually catch Devin Zimmerman. And I did find out an interesting tidbit today that if you win one of these races, okay, we all know that if you lead a lap, you sit on pole, you lead a lap, that's a point in itself. But when you win one, you actually get 4 more points for winning a race than you do coming in second. So it's 46 points go to the leader, 42 to second place, and then 1 point back there on through to the 43rd position. So if you add all that up, that 4 extra points, 5 extra points that Ryan Shelton can gain, realistically, if Devin doesn't make it tonight, he's in really good. He's only 24 out from the lead, guys. So it's doable.
Now, Dustin,
I'm sorry, 34 out from the lead. 34.
I think Dustin prematurely selected who his pick for tonight was. Who's your one to watch, Jay?
I prematurely did that, yes.
Yeah, you did. Now, my one to watch is, Robert Cochran put on one heck of a show on Friday night and challenged Shelton. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, and Robert Cochran, I think, is overdue. And if he can get in the right spot, keep the strategy that he had, and stay up there with Ryan Shelton, I think it's going to be a Robert Cochran night tonight, guys.
I like to hear that.
I think that's a very good pick. I mean, he performed so well on Friday night, and you're right. He fought right up there with Ryan for a long time. That's an excellent pick.
How about you, Tommy? Who's your pick of the evening?
Oh, I'm bouncing between two. So I got two guys in the back. We got Chuck McDonald and Andrew Bisnett inside the top 10, but at the rear end of it. Andrew Bisnett shows speed time and time again. He's pretty good on these flatter tracks. Chuck McDonald, it was his birthday yesterday. He's a year older, a year wiser, and he's coming off that victory in the Gas and Go series on Sunday nights. Gotta go with Chuck. Gotta go with Chuck on this one.
Might see some might see some fuel saving in this. You just never know. I mean, Chuck's very good at that. He's always good on the track. I mean, look at that chat. Sharon says, "Hey Jim, Malachi wanted me to tell Uncle Jim and Jay hi. He got 2 touchdowns tonight."
Way to
Jay,
go,
how do you
Malachi!
feel about
Heck
that,
yeah,
Jay?
Malachi.
Man, that's awesome news. Good job, Malachi. Good to hear that. Thanks, Sharon, for sharing that. And hi, how are you, buddy? Good job. Appreciate it, man. Very proud of him.
Yeah, you
Very
keep that
very
up.
very proud of the 2 TDs tonight, man. That's awesome.
You
That
keep
is
that up
awesome.
every game for the next couple years, and you will have yourself a job.
somewhere, somewhere. Look at that
No,
one
that is
lap to
great.
green as they start taking the field here. You know, we
Yeah.
all got our picks out there. You know, Ryan just put on a good race. I mean, if I had a dark horse, I mean Larry Patrick, you know, he put on a strong qualifying time. You know, he might be my dark horse in tonight's race.
Well, as they get lined up here, let's see if we can get Brad Hunt, our in-car reporter, dialed in to see what he's hearing out on the track and what he's thinking. Hey, Brad, Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on us, buddy?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
What you seeing down there? What are you hearing amongst the drivers?
Not much amongst the drivers because I'm not a little in-car reporter.
Oh, that's right. They use the Discord. I should put you down there and just pull you up when we need you.
What is the, all right? Since we have you in the car, what is the fuel looking like for this evening? Did they go full or did they cut it back to like half, 40%? Do you know?
Right now it's showing that I got 46.1, but that's sitting still, so probably about 50% fuel.
All right, so you guys will at least need one, if not two, depending on how hard they push it. So with that strategy, Chuck may actually have an advantage and take it out halfway and try and half the race and try and pull out another victory that way. So Tommy may have something there based on the fuel that we have.
Yeah, what's your theory on tires going into this hunt?
You raced Friday night. You know what's going on.
No, I didn't race.
Oh, that's right. You didn't race Friday night.
Yeah, I came in late. But I think I've done Michigan a couple times in some of the other leagues. I think tire wear was a little bit of a factor, but I mean, like y'all had pointed out before, it's just like right side tires helps, and I mean sometimes it might be 2, sometimes it might be 4 tire pit stops.
No, it's a flat track and it's slick. I think tires are going to mean something here, but it's up to you guys to figure out how much they mean.
Right.
Well, I'm going to put you back down with the drivers, Brad, so you can relay all the secret tips you heard up here in the booth, because we're so fast.
I was gonna say I got the broadcast going on next to my wheel, so
I think Brad wants to stay in the booth and he'll be our in-car reporter as he wants to be. Brad likes the booth.
Right. He gets all the inside information, all the little tips.
Right.
Well, good luck, Brad.
Good luck,
Yeah,
Brad.
before we get accused of favoritism over here.
Right.
Private coaching lessons from the 3 slowest guys on iRacing.
Well, I don't know about that, Tommy, because in the
Yeah.
Iconic series, I'm not sure if you heard or not. Dustin was supposed to get the clip, but I actually got past Ryan Shelton on a pass at Talladega by myself using a little bit of help from Mr. Andrew Bisnet.
I did not get that clip, but I did see it and it was awesome. I forgot all about the clip. I had a birthday party I had to go to for my nephew and godson. So I was like, I'm out, but I feel bad about not getting that clip, but it was an awesome pass on your part.
Thank you.
As we
So
go
take the green
green.
here. Yeah, Ryan Shelton gets out to an early lead. Robert Cochran has had some internet issues. That's why you see him blinking on the screen. Hopefully he can maintain and get out there and contend for this, as these guys do have plenty of practice, 200 miles so far this weekend and coming into today. So the 2 out front,
Whoa.
Ryan Shelton. Robert, somebody spinning down the back stretch right there. Tap the outside wall. I'm not sure who that was, but that's going to bring out the yellow. First caution, not even 1 lap in, and that looks like Robin Parton in number 14. Looks like he just gets together. Oh, just takes it inside. Rob, I'm not sure who he got into there.
We'll get closer there.
Oh, Striker. Striker is in the middle. Oh, Robin just comes up. Striker comes down a little bit, just coming off of turn number 2. They get together, and looks like Robin Parton Didn't hit anything, just hit each other. So he's going to have a little bit of right side damage there. Not sure if it's going to knock the toe out, but
Yeah,
from that, he does have damage.
that's an easy mistake to make. I've been in striker's position. Maybe you think it's clear below you. You don't see anything in the mirror. The spotter doesn't give you like a good timing on it, right? That you're clear down low or car inside. It looks like you just moved a little too fast there.
Yeah, and I can honestly say, because I was a victim of the in between my brother Jim and I had Thomas roll on the outside. We took it 3 wide coming out of that turn. It does not work very well, and that it was just we got together. There was nothing anybody can do. Tom just came down, trying to keep it off the wall, came across my front, and ended up taking out Jim on Friday. But it's just one of those things that 3 wide just does not work in that part of the track. You're going to have to either back it down or do your best to hold the line and just take it. If you're on the bottom, you want to take it definitely a little bit down further than you need to.
Yeah. If I'm on the bottom, especially on these flat tracks, I'm trying to stay as low as possible, just because I know how much cars wash up, and you have a lot of guys trying to gather it up on corner exit, and the upper lines tend to wiggle a little more than the bottom does.
Yeah, the top does actually, because you get on that wall, and that's the last thing you want to do is tap that wall, because that's going to definitely hurt your car, especially a track like this where it's very aero dependent, especially in the corners here. And tapping that outside wall, you will lose some time. As I'm not sure if Robin Parton's going to come down and get that.
I'm looking at Robert Parton right now, and he hit Dinkin in the pit, and he's got some right front damage. And you look at Nicholas Smith, he's got some left front damage. Neither one of them went in the pit, but Chuck McDonald, our wild card, has come into the pit, and I think he got some gas. Is he playing a little gas strategy here, like he did last night?
If you're already in the back, why not?
Right.
That's true. At every chance you get, you come down and just take fuel. That's just going to add more. But I don't think he's going to be able to stretch out 80 laps. That's a tall order.
There's a tall order here at Michigan.
Well, and we have 42 laps, so I mean, if he can extend it out at least another 3, that's 10 seconds he can add to his time. So.
From what I saw, Chuck was the only one that hit pit road there at that instance. So
I just saw a quick message pop up on the screen. It disappeared, but I believe Devin Zimmerman is having trouble with sugar-filled children.
Oh no!
Ooh, sugar-filled children. We all know how that feels.
Oh, man.
I don't have children. I know how sugar-filled children are.
Well, yeah. Devin, if you're listening, we're praying for you.
All right, so we got lap 3, and they didn't even complete 1 lap under green there. They're going 1 lap to go, so we got to get relined up here as we reach out back in the chat. And Sharon says, Malachi is 4 years old, flag football. He's the one that has the shirts from Back Charity. He promotes them well, very proud, and tells everyone at the field all about the racing on the computer. So thank you, Malachi.
Thank you, Mally. Thank you, Malachi.
So he's wearing the Back Charity shirts well.
We got to get that man a business card.
Yep. We'll give him a card that says, hey, I play football for Back Charities.
Absolutely.
I get touchdowns for Back Charities. We need to start sponsoring.
Yeah, touchdowns.
There you
go. 2 of them tonight, man. 2 of them.
Right, so way to go, Malachi. Very good on that one. We appreciate it. I'm very proud of you, and thank you for supporting us.
I think every one of us here in the booth knows what it's like to score a touchdown in flag football. It's always a blast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. Anytime you can score anywhere, what are you kidding? I get a 2-pointer in a basketball game, I'm excited, let alone in a touchdown. That'd just throw me over the edge.
My high school varsity career, I have 3 points. That's all that matters.
We're not up here because we hate competition. We love it.
We love it. We're going to go back green here, and the pace car is going to duck on off. Ryan Shelton, Robert Cochran, 1-2. Larry Patrick and Ethan Thompson, 3-4.
Yeah, Larry Patrick sneaking in there. I think he might have been a really good underdog pick as we go green.
Yep, and there you go. Ryan Shelton gets a jump every time. But Cochran knows his moves now because he was up there. He saw him when he did in the race on Friday. So he's been up there quite a bit. So Robert Cochran holding down the 2nd spot. As they come around that tippy-toeing out of turn number 2 for the first time. 2nd time under green.
Yeah, Robert Cochran sniffing at Ryan Shelton's heels. And he's
going
inside of him. He's going for it. and he's going to maybe. We'll look at the run on the outside here.
Yes, he does. He's going to take it. So Ryan
Oh.
Shelton's going to come back down, take that error away, try and get him up the track a little bit. But we
Robert-
got a new leader. Robert
Oh.
Cochran needs his first lap under green, earning that 1 point and seriously earning it from Ryan Shelton. But we got Ethan Thompson right there nipping on the heels. So this is going to be a good race. Is Robert Cochran having enough confidence going in after that race to pull it out? As we got
he
another
prepares
caution on
the
the field.
lead.
Caution on the field, guys. We got another caution.
Ooh.
Oh, that
Looked
was a
like a
big
good
one.
one. Looked like a good one.
Oh my goodness!
Looks
I
like
see
the
Bismarck
5.
down low. Rick Kohler.
Looked like the 5 of Larry Patrick. Got loose.
Yeah, he's okay
Come on,
there.
corner
Not-
goes
Ooh,
up.
just snappy.
collects.
Oh,
just
man.
collects,
Collects
Rick
Kohler.
Oh man, and is
And
that
Chuck.
So Chuck came
Oh.
in, got topped off with fuel. Really had nowhere to go on that because it's hard to turn it from high to low, especially right where he was at on the track. So Chuck gets collected in that.
We're gonna
Yeah,
we'll watch
I don't
that from Chuck's cam when we get back here, but I mean you see it up front. And
nothing to
he
do.
had
Yeah.
nowhere to go. I mean he had nowhere to go.
I think he saw cars going low. I saw Andrew Bisnett throwing some smoke up a little sideways there, and he thought maybe the spinning vehicles were going low. Tried to go up high, and one of the cars just happened to be stopped up there on the wall.
Well,
Yeah, and that's a shame because
Really hard to see through all that smoke.
we're gonna watch
Right.
that from Patrick's camera as well. I mean he just got loose coming out of 3 and 4 here.
it started 1 and 2, wasn't it?
Was it 1 and 2?
I think it was 1 and 2, but yeah. Well, we can take a ride with him down the front stretch here. As you see that pass, that's a good little look at the pass at the front there. I mean, he did have a good look at that pass.
I might have been
Cochran-
too far back for his
Hey, I will never turn down a little extra gyro cam.
There it is,
Oh,
right
there
there.
it
Yeah,
is.
it just got loose. That's what you were alluding to. You were loose going down in turns 1 and 2, and I'm not sure. Just from experience, I know that you can literally just ease off that gas right to those 2 billboards that hang out there. That's where I was letting
Yeah.
off, and the car was
Yeah.
more stable. If I
And
let
I-
off anywhere before that,
I
Same.
don't know who I feel worse for. Chuck coming off that win. He was my pick to win the race here tonight. Or had nothing he could do. He was just up there, had to hit the car that was in front of him. Or the guy that gets loose, nothing he can do either. He's now out of control, and it's just a tough situation for everybody that was involved in that.
yeah, and it's snappy loose, like you said. It's just that car when you get it
snaps.
loose, and it just snaps back, and there's really nothing you can do. Once he got it, lost it, coming back up, it was out of control. It was out of his hands.
Yeah,
so it came to a stop.
And I think we saw both extremes of that situation. We saw Stryker earlier get a little loose on the outside, regain control of it, but had to use more track than he wanted to. And then you see an overcorrection here by Larry Patrick, and it's just the opposite end of the same problem.
Yeah, and it's surprising we got 8 of 80 right now. So really,
Well,
it's anybody's game.
and racing on this track Friday night, it's you get that snap loose. Jay, you'll attest to this that you get that snap loose, you want to recorrect, and you're just gone. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, once that thing snaps back, you're at it. You've lost it. There's nothing you can do. You can't get in the gas. You can't get anything.
Look
You
at
can't
Ryan
snap.
Shelton just
Give it-
right
give it-
on the bumper. Robert Cochran here. What is he doing?
Giving him the attaboy for getting in front of him.
I think he's giving him that attaboy. Yeah, the Jay alluded the attaboy or thank you for showing me the
Right.
secret to this track. I don't know. Ryan
I-
Shelton's always been that guy. He wants to make every driver better.
You're
And
right. You're right.
he was proud listening in a Discord Friday night. He was just talking up Cochran like Cochran's like, no, I'm done. No, Ryan or Robert, stay up here. You're doing good. It was a fun conversation. Jay, you were a part of that conversation.
Yes, I was. And Ryan Shelton, as much as good as he is, he will definitely be the one that helps everybody out here. And when you race him hard, like Cochran just did, and didn't give him any room and slid up in front of him, he is probably more proud of that and loves that more than beating everybody by 2 laps.
We might have to
Yeah.
touch on that in the post interviews.
Yeah, I think so too. And I'll tell you, Andy does that to me on occasion under yellow, and it's never an attaboy. I don't get that impression.
Oh, you talking about Andy Shaner? No,
Andy
he
Shaner
wants to
and-
flip. He wants to flip you upside down.
every time he's behind me, he's just attaboy, 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 like 3 times in a row. We're
Yeah,
going
now
green
here was
again.
just enough. Yep, and Robert Cochran now gets that jump. And there you go. So Robert Cochran now brings him down to lap number 10 of 80, 70 laps to go. And now we got a fight in between second here between Ryan Shelton and Ethan Thompson. Ethan Thompson's going to try and take it low. Ryan's going to take that preferred line on the high side, at least for the first few laps, until those tires get worn in a little bit more and those pressures built back up. Really haven't had a lot of green flag racing, so those tires are still not quite where they need to be just yet. As you see Ryan dive down on the inside, going to push Cochran to the outside, but Cochran's going to hold that line. He can actually carry a little more momentum out of that track.
Well, we learned that Friday night, Jay, that the outside line, it's hard to pass on the inside. It is. So
Yeah, and that's where I raced with quite a few guys, and I held the outside line, and it took a while for them to get around me, and that was one of the incidents that happened.
Cochran gets a little loose.
Cochran got a little loose, and Ethan had to check up. Oh, hold it down on my woo.
There's our
was
in-car
just-
reporter though, Brad Hunt. I mean, he's sitting
that
there
was a
dabbling
close one.
into the top 2. He's going to P2.
Yeah, I mean, Ethan checked up and he got sideways, so Brad just was there, kept the momentum going, and now we got a nice fight here for second, third, and fourth. Is Ryan Shelton is out to just over a 1.5 second lead, but that's only because these guys just got wadded up behind him. But Bradley Hunt's now on the hunt, searching down, and it's a nice, tight 3-way battle here
That
for
was
second spot.
That was a heck of a save by Robert Cochran, getting that
Yeah, it
car
was.
under control, and Ethan Thompson getting woed up in time not to rear end that car that just flashed in front of his eyes. Whew.
Absolutely. As we see now, Andrew Bisnett's on the move, and Andrew Bisnett's going to get around Bradley Hunt. And we got another fight here for second as Robert Cochran and Ethan Thompson are fighting it out for that second spot.
Cochran's fighting that little inside left damage, and it'll be interesting to see if he uses that fast repair to fix that up or what he decides to do.
Yeah, and these guys, imagine. Well, he didn't. Did he make contact with Shelton? When
Well,
he had that little.
A little
bit.
bit. I don't know if Shelton got any damage out of that or not, but
If he did, it
Cochran.
was very, very minimal.
Can I get a shot of Shelton's hood?
Well, I'm gonna look at Cochran. You look at his left side. It's damaged a little bit. We're gonna look at Ryan Shelton. We'll go to the far chase here, and our rear chase. Rear chase is what I want. A little bit, not much.
A little bit.
But I don't think that's going to be enough really to do any significant damage right now.
No.
Especially as fast as Ryan Shelton is, it actually may help the drivers behind him keep up with him during this first stint until they can get in and he can get that repaired. So
Car looks pretty clean for the most part.
Yeah.
I would say if I was in his situation, being as fast as he is, maybe I'm still saving my fast repair.
As Ethan
Yeah.
Thompson takes over second place from Robert Cochran right now.
and I'm sure Robert
Right
has
back.
his,
But they're
hand-
battling. He's battling. He wants it back.
Yeah, he knows how to get around here, that's for sure. And it's going to take a few laps for your heart rate to go down just a little bit, especially after a spin like that and getting into it. So calm down,
That was
settle
a
down,
good
and get
gear
back
in
in
the
your
air.
rhythm.
And nobody wants to see this more than Ryan Shelton, as he gets to walk away a little bit as these guys fight each other and use up their equipment.
I'm going to take a lap around the track with Nicholas Smith.
So 5 degrees here on the backstretch, rolling into 18 as we come into 3 and 4. And I believe
5 degrees is basically flat.
yeah, something. was it 12 degrees on the
On the front stretch.
on the front stretch, 12 on the front stretch. There's still a little bit of banking here to help him get around that D.
Right.
But like Jay said, 5 degrees, you wouldn't even know it if you were standing on it.
No, you're not. It's flat.
It's
But
flat.
here you go.
It's
18,
a flat
and
track.
there's where the issue is going in, because you have this transition where you're coming from 18 down to 5.
Yeah.
Right there, That's where all the and that's even professionals have a problem with that
Yeah,
transition.
the exit of 2 where you slide onto basically the skid pad, and then all that extra speed you're carrying from that longer backstretch into the entry of 3 tends to be where you get the loosest. That's when you're getting off the throttle, lightening up the rear end.
And it's more prevalent in these cars than the generations before, only because of the independent rear suspension. So the car sticks down a little bit more on that one side, as where the other ones had that stiffer transition in the back, so it was
Oh,
able to hold. And that's where you're seeing these guys start to get loose going down in through here. And
What
then
what
once again, it's going to push off right there.
what did they say over there in the Cars movie? Float like a Cadillac and sting like a Beamer.
sting like a beamer.
That independent rear suspension, it's going from Cadillac to BMW. Cadillac's a big, powerful, floaty car. BMW is a well-tuned machine to try to drive, and that element makes these things that much harder to drive because they're that much better to drive.
Right, and I'm not sure you just went off of that, but Stryker just made a nice little pass back there for the fifth
Yep.
spot.
Good for him, fighting back.
Cochrane
And he's
still
moving up.
setting up their battling for P2. Ethan Thompson's sitting there in P2 right now, but Cochrane's sitting there. You got Ryan Shelton out in lead right now.
It's
Having a
only a
fun race.
second. Yeah, but actually, if you look at the times that they were, it was a minute or 1.6 seconds about 4 laps ago, and now it's down to 1.3. So he is catching them, getting in there. So if Ethan Thompson can get good runs here, get it straightened out, and you never know. Closing in, that gap is closing in.
Well, when you said laps ago, I heard laps 2 go, and we are only 25% through this fairly long event time-wise.
Well, there you go. So as we come down, we're going up on 20 of 80. So we got 60 laps left, one pit stop at least to go through.
At least.
Rick Kohler, unfortunately, dropped out of the race. I'm not sure what his issue was. Maybe he got involved in that incident, didn't have enough repair, but he is our only one that is not out on the race. And Devin Zimmerman, unfortunately,
Has not made the track tonight.
did not make it here tonight. So that's going to be a huge points gain for Ryan Shelton and Ethan Thompson. Now the only thing is who's going to get out there and extend that points lead. It's going to definitely tighten it up going into the last 4 races of the season.
Well,
But
it just occurred to me, if Devin can, with 22 laps to go, he can gain a point.
again,
Yes, he can. All you got to do is just stay out there 1 lap, gain an extra point. So every point, like I said before, it's easy to give that point away and so hard to get it back.
Absolutely. Everybody wants the points.
Guys, I've watched a little bit of a battle here in the back in between our Enrique reporter Bradley Hunt and Stryker. Stryker just tapped the wall a couple minutes or a couple of laps ago, and he's getting a little bit loose, but he was on the move and was right on his back bumper a few laps ago. Robin Parton now sits out there and he maintains the 5th spot. So Robin Parton's having a great night tonight, guys. And he's one of those silent ones that we really ever hear from, but we do talk about quite often and usually within the top 5.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen Andrew Bisnet. I mean, with these guys, I do see him perform well on these flat tracks. I think the road racing may be getting to him a little bit. We need to throw another right-hander at these guys.
Biznet was a little bit in that charity race we had the other night, and he might be playing a little strategy. You just never know. I mean, sitting P8 right now, you just never know what's going through Biznet's head. He always has a different strategy.
I was just going to say, if anybody likes an unusual strategy and kind of wants to try something different, it's definitely Andrew Bisnet.
Yeah, he's always that different strategy guy.
Yeah, you can run it. He's the first to admit it. He's great at saving gas, but can't save tires. So.
Actually, now that I think about it, he was not in the charity race. He was celebrating his mom's birthday. That night. Yeah, I was thinking the Iconic series, the back charities Iconic race. That Friday night, he was not in the race. He was celebrating his mom's birthday.
That's right.
So happy belated birthday.
Yeah, happy belated birthday to Mrs. Bisnet Senior. How do you say that when they're a parent?
I don't know.
Andrew's mom?
Andrew's
Andrew's
mom. Yeah,
mom.
Andrew's mom.
Happy
Yep,
birthday, Andrew's mom.
absolutely. Jim Downham, our race control, just said he goes, I signed out of race control and turned it over to Andrew Bisnet, who is the new administrator. So where I were on Andrew Bisnet, he is the new administrator for this league. So he is going to be taking it over now from Mondays. Jim, who did a great job taking over for Jeremy, is now going to be on Thursday nights in the IndyCar and trucks on Tuesday nights. So
Good
Yeah,
call.
and,
we're
and
going
and on that point, guys, Tyler Daniels Racing, this thing we do. Obviously, if you're a better
Tight
first
battle.
responder, come race so we can watch this. But it's a family. All the admins, they pitch in, they go different directions, kind of where they're needed, so that we can bring you live racing action every night. Not necessarily broadcast, but there's a race going on anytime you need to be in one.
Yes.
So then you got to split the duties, and Dustin can, and I'm sure Tommy, everybody out there, you can't, as much as we love to do this every night, our wives don't let us do this every night. So we do have to have, split it in between family time and getting things done. So we do have to have some nights off. And unfortunately, Jim
My
had to pick up on Thursday nights with the Indy cars. That's why he's giving this one up. So we're going to miss you, Jim, but it's in good hands with Andrew Bisnet for sure.
my nights off are working at my local track here at Murray County Speedway. It's gonna be fun.
Right. So everybody needs a night or two off from racing,
yeah.
just get some other stuff done. But we enjoy, like I said, it's family, and when everybody gets together, we all have a good time. So there you go.
we do.
And Andrew Bisnet is saving fuel, as Tom Rule says. He is always
Ooh.
saving fuel. So, somebody just smacked that outside.
That
Well,
was
they're gonna keep
Robert
it going.
Cochran.
Robert Cochran.
I saw a
he's
tight
going.
battle between 4 and 5 there. Yeah, 3rd and 4th, because Robin Parton takes over 3rd place.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of changing of positions here, too. 26 laps in. I mean, we've seen that one lead change with Robert Cochran, so we've only had one lead change, but the amount of swapping they've done from 2nd through 8th has been phenomenal. The racing here has been really good tonight.
And I'm wondering if that damage, that little bit of damage that Cochran had when he got into that little bit of a slide with Ryan is kind of upsetting that car, because it's kind of, I don't know. He had one heck of a run on
Well,
Friday night. For to fall back that far, I'm not sure what's going on.
Robert Cochran might have a little bit left and right damage now, as we're seeing here on camera. As
Yeah, but I'm
Brad,
wondering if before
as
that,
our
maybe it
in-car
kind of-
reporter is right behind him, ready to make the pass.
Bradley Hunt on the hunt.
Bradley
looks
Hunt on the hunt.
Yeah, Hunt's on the hunt, and it looks like Robert Cochran is just going to try and nurse this.
But it
to the-
looks like Bradley Hunt has a little bit of right side damage as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of the cars out there seem to have some stripes.
Right. Well, you know what they say. What is it, Tommy? If the right side is
If the
hurt,
right,
you're racing. If your left side is hurt, you're what? In the wall or something.
we have not named the Michigan stripe.
we have not named the Michigan. What's Michigan famous for other than like
It's
Fords?
Detroit area. It's known for its
Car
cars.
parts.
I'm not sure what you would call this, because this is a big manufacturing. Well, it was big back manufacturing. They all moved to Kansas and Mexico
yeah,
and other parts of
everywhere
Iowa,
else.
but
the,
kind of
the,
left Michigan out in the cold.
the
there.
rust belt stripe?
There you go, the Rust Belt stripe.
So we got Ryan Shelton in the lead, Ethan Thompson second, and Robin Parton third, and Bradley Hunt closely fourth.
Yeah,
And he-
Jay said Bradley Hunt earlier was in the hunt, and it does 2 words. Bradley Hunt on the hunt. I love it.
He's on the hunt in that NWO car.
That's the perfect last name for a race car driver.
In the hunt.
Right?
Yeah,
He's
speed,
hunting them down.
power, those are good last names. Hunt, great last name for a race car driver.
But let's move up to Robin Parton, who sits right now in third. I don't really want to talk too much about Robin, only because I don't want to give him the broadcaster's curse. But Robin is having a great night tonight. He's just
having a
keeping
great
his
run.
nose clean, and so he has a good run going with 30 out of 80. They should be coming down, I would assume, within the next 10 laps for their first pit stop. And well, they did have 2 yellows.
Correct me.
They may be able to go 45, so they'll be able to definitely split this race.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Robin part of the first caution?
He came down and got his quick repair.
Yeah, that's what I
And
thought.
then he stayed out of that incident, that second incident with Larry Patrick, who unfortunately was also, I believe, involved, had a little bit of damage. He must have taken his quick repair because now he's 2 laps down, and he was involved in that second incident as well.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, Robin Barton probably has the cleanest car on the track right now.
Between him and Ryan Shelton, as
No,
he
Ryan
is
does
our
have
leader.
damage because Ryan
Oh
does have a
yeah.
little bit of damage.
Yeah.
So yes, actually, Robin Pardon is the only one that on the track that would have clean. And maybe the only other person I would see out there would be Andrew Bisnet. We didn't really see anything in his, but he's saving fuel,
looks
trying to take it out as long as he can.
Yeah,
looks like
Rob.
that car's got another wrinkle. Biznet looks nice.
Biznet looks clean. He looks clean as a whistle.
But he's going to have to go the rest of the stint. He's going to have to put the pedal to the metal and quit saving fuel here to get through this next stint because Ryan's going to just, he's not going to let up and let Ryan or Andrew catch him. So if anything, I would short pit at 40 and then go as fast as I can to the end to try and catch Ryan here at the end.
Yeah, you got to try to split it, but I think going 40 laps, it's doable, but it's not a guarantee. I don't think 40 laps is guaranteed in one tank of fuel here.
Well,
You
it's a
never know
40
with Chuck McDonald. He's always gambling.
If he can make it to 44, 44 should be good at that point. Even if you were to go all out, I think you can make it on fuel at that point. Based on what we were saying, Bradley Hunt had, 42 in the beginning?
Yeah, and I think with those cautions, they should be able to get to 44. So the pit strategy here might come down a little bit to who is paying more attention.
Right, and then also you have Chuck McDonald, who we saw come in and top off during that first run, but he also got involved in that incident, so maybe he came back down, and I'm sure he's got a little bit of extra room to move as well. But we know his strategy, and that's just going to be slower and see where that lands you. And it did, it's one of them 2-1 wins so far, so he's got a good strategy at some of these tracks. But is it going to be enough to hold off Ryan Shelton, Ethan Thompson, who are quick? I mean, but you never know. Got to have a strategy, right, going into these things.
Yeah, absolutely. See Nicholas Smith there kind of looking to the inside of Robert Cochran.
We have Larry Patrick looking at the outside of him as well. He's a couple laps down, but he's battling pretty hard.
Well, and he's got some fresh tires. He spent some time on pit road, got the quick repair. I assume since we're close to halfway, he felt like he needed rubber, and that's going to bring rubber back into the conversation. As you guys said, 2 tires is the viable option here. 4 tires, how much do tires matter? We've got some guys that have more fuel than some of the other guys out there on the track. How much is track position worth versus that fresh rubber? In about 9 laps here, we're going to find out just what everybody's thinking.
Well, I'm believing it's going to be 2 tires for. I know it's probably going to be 2 tires for at least 2 that I know of, and that would be Robert Cochran and Ryan Shelton. They do have the experience. If I know Andrew Bisnet, he may even go no tires and just try and ride this thing out.
Right.
It does get a little bit loose. So,
if
is
there was
2 tires going to be faster than none? I'm not sure, but how it all plays out, we're just going to sit here and watch.
I guarantee if there was a 1 or 3 tire option, Bisnet would try it.
I don't know how 1 tire would work. Which tire would you take?
Right front.
The one that's flat.
Right front every time.
The one that's flat. I like Jay's answer there as well too. Which one is flat?
Right. Guys, I just had a ladybug land on me. Ain't that good luck?
A ladybug? Oh boy. How old?
Had a ladybug.
How old?
How many dots?
One.
Because that's supposed to be how many kids you have or something.
Yeah, right?
Well, it's about accurate. There's 7 on here.
Oh.
Well, no, not how many kids like you have currently, but like how many you're going to have.
Yeah.
Oh no, well, I don't think that'll happen.
That's the bless of the ladybug, as I recall it from elementary school.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah, that was pretty interesting. I saw something hit me, and it was ladybug landed on my arm. So
we're looking at green flag pit stops, more than likely from our top two leaders, and Ryan Shelton and Ethan Thompson. So is it gonna come down to entry? Jay, you entered this pit road Friday night on green flags. Is green flag hard to enter? Is the pit road hard to enter in a green flag?
It
Oh,
is. It is. It's very slippery coming off of that turn. The faster you go, the more slipperier it is. I kind of backed off way early. Like I started my pit right about there, right at the crease line, and got it woed down. It didn't really matter to me whether I lost, a few seconds. The first thing I wanted to do is not lock up the tires.
yeah.
Second thing I wanted to do is get it down to within pit speed, and maintain that pit speed. So I'm not one for the greatest, taking it down like a lot of these guys will take it at 100 and 20 miles an hour and then slam on the brake at the cone. No, I'm at about pit speed, probably about right around 50 to 100 yards before the pit lane starts. So that's my strategy as far as taking a pit stop. But yeah, it can be very slippery. I have actually tried to do that and just out there testing to see, where my skills are, and my skills are not that great when it comes to full blast on right backing it down. I usually end up spinning and hitting the wall on the inside.
So
Do you want a pro tip? So I have made
I
probably
was
more
just gonna
pit
say that.
entries, more pit entries than green flag laps.
Well, how do you make green flag pit stops when you're upside down all the time?
Well, I get some toes. I mean, but there's times I can get under there in my own power. But no, one of the tips I have, I am really good at pit entry. I'm good at timing the pace. I don't use a limiter or anything like that. It's all about your brake bias and your gearing. Use the gears to slow you down when you're ready
Yeah.
to. So you don't want to over rev, but as you get down to say 60 miles an hour, you drop it into third. That'll give you some engine braking. Have your bias tuned to the rear a little bit so it doesn't get front end heavy. That'll get you woed up nice and controllable. Once you hit that pit road speed, let off the brake. Just stay that speed.
Right, and
As,
I'm not sure if you just saw that, but
as we had Ethan Thompson take that low
Yep.
line, try to make
and he
that
got loose.
pass. But
Did you
Jay,
see him get loose? Cam coming off a turn though, and
yeah,
he got down there. He got up to him and then got loose and had to back off of it. So that
he
was one heck of a move.
he
Yeah.
had to make that move because Ryan Shelton has that experience of racing Friday night. It's
Right.
hard to pass on the inside.
Ryan Shelton a little loose
This is
there.
close.
Ryan Shelton got down on the dog leg there, like right down on the apron, got a little loose. Ethan Thompson, by the way, over the last 15 laps has closed almost a 2-second gap that we started with here.
Right, he did, but Ryan Shelton with that experience he
And
has. Well,
thanks for the
as
lead, guys.
Ethan
New
makes that
leader,
pass on the backstretch
Ethan
here,
Thompson.
we'll
On the
see if it
backstretch.
holds. Well, it should hold.
Ethan
But
Thompson takes over at 39 laps. That's going to be our third leader of this race.
that
And
was
so
a
far, he's got
perfect
a very
pass.
Talk about a run. You want to talk about someplace hard to pass? The backstretch on a flat track.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Heck
And
of
here
a
we go. Ryan Shelton back
Crossover.
underneath. Ryan back underneath. He ain't not going to let him go by. So is he going to make it stick down at the bottom? He has that experience. He's on that preferred line on that, just that first little
We'll see if Ethan can
strip
carry
there.
the momentum on the outside here.
The outside, the middle line is the preferred line here at Michigan.
Right,
In
but I
one
know
and
you
two.
can
In
run
one and
the-
two. In one and
Right.
two. But 3 and 4.
A
higher.
little lower.
I don't know, because like I said right there, you can maintain that momentum on the outside. You can get in the gas a little bit more. Take it down as we see Ethan Thompson's going to once again pull ahead and put Ryan Shelton behind him. So that's a nice little battle for first and second that we're watching here.
It's a beautiful battle.
That was great watching Ryan Shelton battle back as he's doing it again. But that pass on the backstretch, that's a power move.
It's a power move.
Yeah, now lower line, you're going to get that ramp off, but if somebody is outside of you, that's going to definitely slow you down because it's going to you're going to lose that little bit of momentum. If you hold that higher side, you are actually able to get in that gas a little bit faster, get a little straighter coming down, and get that launch off. And now we got Ethan who's going to try and block that bottom side as they get nose to tail coming out turn number 3. Ethan takes a high almost like an inch off that wall. Ryan Shelton's right on his tail, just trying to get him loose, and it looks like it's going to be a great battle going down in turn 1. Tommy.
Somewhere in this battle, there is a joke about closing doors and opening windows. I'm just saying.
There's a lot of that. You know, Ryan on the inside of that, he was trying to open that window as you were alluding to, Tommy, trying to get Ethan loose. Ethan did not get loose there, and Ryan's like, "What do I do now?"
The battle for first and second is almost like a marriage. One person is constantly closing the door, trying to warm the area up, The other person's always looking for a window and just needs a little bit of that cool, fresh air to make it happen.
And I
As
can
re-
guarantee, just like a marriage, one of those two are definitely griping about it. So that's for sure. I can agree with you there.
as Ryan duck downs into pit road,
All right,
Ethan
Ryan's gonna come
stays
down.
out green. Does the tire difference make up that difference?
All right, well, let's see. Let's stay right here on Ryan Shelton. See if he takes that 2 tires stop. Can we get a? That's
I'll
a
get
bad angle. Can we
TV1.
get a one?
There we go. How many?
There we go. So we're
We got
guys are
right
coming
sides.
along.
Right
Right
sides?
sides are coming down, which he did take, and that's
Take
the
it full
secret
full
right there.
fuel. Oh, takes
going-
2
oh,
tires,
two
got the
tires
fuel,
and-
he's gone.
I
All right,
think-
35 laps to go, as we called it.
Can you get a full tank on 2 tires? Because I
Yep.
think you took off maybe a little prematurely.
35 to go. Never know. Let's go back to Ethan. Let's see what we get out of this. Because
Don't
he's
forget, you
on
can't
pit
get
road
12.
now.
With
He's
these
on.
guys now, they're 12-second pit stops, so it's only 12 and a half seconds to get two tanks of fuel, or 2 gallon, or 2 things of fuel. Fill that thing up. There's only 18 and a half gallons in these things, so it's not the full 22 that we were used to in the older cars.
You got
It's
the
18
right
and a half
sides.
gallons. So he's got right sides.
Yeah. See, a lot of guys. A lot of guys.
Oh, he's
left
taking
side
all
as well.
4. He's taking all 4.
Yeah, and saw a lot of guys come down with the leader there. I saw Bradley Hunt, Robin Pardon, several other names we talked about tonight went with the leader. So I
Mhm.
believe this is going to put Ethan Thompson 1 lap on fuel ahead of everyone else, next to Andrew Bisnett, Robert Cochran, Nicholas Smith, and Chuck McDonald, who all are yet to pit.
Ryan Shelton is on the backstretch, and Ethan Thompson just coming off pit road on the backstretch. That should put Ryan Shelton back out in the lead as we
Robert
shake
Cochran and
this
Nicholas
out.
Smith are on pit road now, so our third pace position now comes down.
But Bisnett is still out, and he was saving fuel.
I don't
Long-
think you can save that much.
Not that much.
Ooh,
That's a lot of fuel.
that's getting into cheating territory.
That might be the extra gas tank everybody was asking that Chuck had last night.
All right, filled the roll cage.
Cochran's on pit road. Nicholas Smith's on pit road.
Nicholas Smith overshot his pit. Cochran did take 2
Ryan
tires.
Shelton is back on pit road.
Oh no, did he get a penalty?
I wonder if he got the same speeding penalty that he had the
He get-
other night.
Friday night. Oh, that's gonna hand it over.
You got
This is
some
gonna
more
get interesting.
tires?
As
Man,
often as Ryan Shelton helps the TDR community with driving tips, I'm gonna have to give him a lesson on making pit stops.
We
Yeah,
all
'cause
need that.
Wow.
That's 2 weeks in a
Chuck
row.
McDonald is on pit road, guys. Chuck's on pit.
Chuck's on pit road as well, so that leaves Bisnett on the last one on pit road with Ethan Thompson about 28 seconds back. Ethan Thompson should take over this lead.
I love how these guys allow us to experiment a little bit at their expense. All these guys running these different strategies. We're about to find out how much those tires mean.
Absolutely, as we're got Andrew Bisnett to still is yet to pit, so he's saving his fuel. He did save enough. He should be able to go clearly to the end with 30 laps to go at this point. So to come out and run hard, but he's going to have to run extra hard as he's got a 27-second lead over
Well,
Ethan Thompson.
Bisnett has to pit yet. There's no way he does not have to pit.
No,
I could
and
be
it-
wrong as a broadcaster. I'm not on the track right now, but I don't see him not having to pit. I think he's
You're gonna have to pit. It's gonna be who at
I
what lap and how much time are you going to give up?
Yeah,
Because now the only one he's got a battle now is Ethan Thompson.
he's looking at a 2-3 second gap right now, from 28 down to 26. He's looking at a 2-second gap that Ethan has gained on him.
All right,
I don't-
hold on just a second. If Andrew saves enough gas, well, he can only take, if he takes 1 can of fuel, that's going to add time to his pit. No tires or 2 tires, 1 can of fuel will get him to the end.
Right? Yeah, I hear you on that.
well, and also maybe he's hoping for a caution. I know they don't happen very often here in the Vet Series, although we did have 2 early on in this race. He can go those few extra laps if he thinks the track position is that important. A well-timed yellow flag could help him out tremendously.
Yeah, A yellow flag would be devastating for the field right now. As he comes to pit road, he is coming down.
He is coming down.
so-
Let's see what he takes here. Is he gonna take just gas? He's gonna take right sides and gas.
Love to have a stopwatch. Where's the stopwatch? Tommy, get out your stopwatch. We
Yeah,
need the timing
Tommy,
on
where's
this.
the family stopwatch?
12
don't-
second. 12 second, you can get 4 tires and 2 cans of fuel. So 6 seconds would be 1 can of fuel. Is he going to take 1 can of fuel?
If
Or
I
is
know
he
Andrew
gonna do-
Bissett, he's getting 1 used tire and like a 5-gallon gas can.
He's not getting any tires. He's just getting that gas
no
and
tires
he's
yet,
going.
man. 1.
There's no jack there. There's no nothing.
I
It's
won.
a lot of
He's
gas though.
been-
That's a long time
Yeah.
for gas.
I would
Long
have
time
taken
for
2
gas.
tires. I would have taken 2 tires. just
I would have
because
taken
if
the
you're gonna
right
be on
side
that
at
long,
least.
Yeah, if you're going in that long anyway, you might as well get at least 1 set. One side with fresh rubbers, and that right side
So,
is definitely the one.
Ethan's
wanna
coming
take.
around the.
Whiz
he-
past there.
Ethan's coming around turns 3 and 4 right now.
Yeah, Bradley Hunt.
Biznet's just coming off. I don't know if Ethan takes over the lead now.
I think Ethan will get there pretty handily.
I don't know. It's going to be close because he's at the start
We'll
finish
see what
line
happens
now.
when they cycle out here.
Yeah,
Ethan is in the lead now.
27
Yeah, and I think Bradley Hunt will.
over 19. So yeah, Sue's got a 20-second advantage over Andrew Biznett, and it's growing as we speak. So he's on the back stretch there, about a half straightaway or a half track away from
Well,
each other
Ethan
right now.
probably took the lead from him when he passed him from there, so he's probably got a decent lead on him. Yes.
It's a half a track.
Yep,
As
very
Biznett
true.
hit the start finish line, Ethan was at the midpoint of the backstretch. So
There you go.
right now he's at the line, and Biznett is just now entering, or about
As Ethan's
500
passing,
feet from turn 3.
Ethan's passing Pardon for a lap. So you got Bradley Hunt. I mean, we should go back to Biznett here. I thought Bradley Hunt was closer, but he wasn't, according to the telltale sign.
It's
But
5 seconds. I mean, Bradley Hunt did fall back just a little bit. They were
He's not
close
too
at
far
one
back
point.
there.
I mean, Ethan Thompson does have that lead here right now.
Well, Biznett
Right.
also took no rubber. He filled that car full of heavy fuel and didn't get any rear tires to support what he's trying to do on
Yeah.
the corner exits. And I think that's going to hurt him in the long run. I would expect to see Bradley Hunt close that gap.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see because Biznett is falling back a lap. He was at 19, now he's at 21 and a half. Bradley Hunt did fall back a little bit, so he must have got just a little bit loose around one of those corners on those fresh tires. Tried to gather back up under him, but got back. Robert Cochran sits in 4th at a second and a half
I
behind.
was say, you look at Robert
Bradley.
Cochran. I mean, he had the little trouble earlier. He looks like he got his fast repair. It looks like he is still fast. Robert Cochran's having a great race.
Yeah, he's getting it. Looks like Les Bentz is checking in with the chat with a big old hi for everybody out there.
Hey, Lance, how are you, buddy? Good to see you out there. Thanks for coming out and supporting these guys. And it's been a very interesting race right now in the middle of these pit cycles and getting everybody out there. But right now, Ethan Thompson's got a huge lead going into 24 laps to go, 22 seconds, 32 seconds from the closest early competitor of Ryan Shelton, 26 behind or ahead of Robert Cochran. So right now, Ethan's got a commanding lead on this race right now.
Yeah, and not quite there, but we're knocking on 75% of race completion. And Andrew Biznett looking good in P2, but I can't help but think those tires are going to drag that number 1 a little further back in the field.
Yeah, in the long run, those no tires and gas, it's a gamble. But
It
you know,
is.
we can watch Brad Hunt from the far chase here. I mean,
we got a battle back here. So
Yeah,
here comes
Robert
Robert
Cochran.
Cochran is now going to go underneath Bradley Hunt. So those two
Perfect.
tires are definitely shaping up there for Mr. Cochran as he takes over 3rd spot. So now he's chasing down Ethan Thompson. And next up on his list is Andrew Biznett, who is about 4 seconds ahead of him.
Yeah, perfect time to grab that can roof, Dustin. Salute.
it was a guess. It was a gamble and a half.
Well, apparently gambling's going to be the theme for tonight.
Can we gamble in Michigan?
I think so. I think there is a try or a thing over there.
There's got to be an Indian casino. There's an Indian casino.
There's a casino somewhere. Yeah.
And if we go up to Andrew Biznett actually is those tires are not paying off for him. Is now he's got a challenge coming from the number 5 of Larry Patrick, who was 2 laps down. So those tires are definitely not.
But if you look at Biznett, I mean, it's 4 seconds. I mean, 22 laps to go is the 4 seconds going to come into play? Well, a little closer now, but
He's within 3, so yeah,
yeah,
he's
3
definitely
now.
losing time. Yeah, so you can see the tires. Larry Patrick, I did believe, took 4.
So if we
filling up
follow,
the field.
so if we follow Cochran here in the top left corner of your screen, you can see Biznett's car. It's there. I mean, the chase is on for Cochran to get P2.
Yes,
it's barely there, but it's there, and I think it's doable. We're knocking on 20 laps to go this time by. I think that's completely doable.
And as Andrew Biznett would put it, and I'm sure this is just an inside TDR, but I'm sure Biznett does not want to see the Beetlejuice flag out.
Right. No Beetlejuice flag.
Which one's that?
The C flag.
It's a little rag. It's kind of a color.
It looks yellow.
Kind of.
We in
That's
Discord, Tommy, as you haven't raced with us later, we always say, "Is Beetlejuice there yet?"
Yeah. So yeah, that's just a little inside TDR of humor for those guys who are with us every night that are out there watching.
If you're if you want to be in Discord with us, racing with us, that's just kind of our humor. Hey, I want to see Beetlejuice.
Yep. So now, Stephen Green times in awesome race. Ethan is consistent and ripping. Now you got that right. He is ripping the field apart right now. He's holding a 23-second lead over Andrew Biznett, but Robert Cochran is slowly gaining in. Like I said, but Ryan Shelton pulled within 3. He does not have enough time to get to the front. But if something should, like that little thing we were mentioning, come out,
Beetlejuice
totally change this race.
I'm following Robert Cochran here in the far chase cam, and you look at Biznett in the top left. I mean, Cochran is gaining with those 2 right tires. I honestly feel Cochran's gonna gain this P2 spot.
Yeah, as he's tracking Biznett, I mean, I think this is totally doable. I think Robert Cochran's going to get himself back into the P2 position, but a lot of work to try to win this race for either of them.
Yeah, that's a tall order. I mean, 25 seconds a lap, it's not really going to happen. There's not going to be that much of a fall off at 18, but it's good to see that, at least Andrew Biznett and Robert Cochran will be battling it out for second spot. But it's one thing to catch them, another thing to get around them. So is Andrew Biznett going to fight for that second spot as Ryan moves up into 4th spot?
Yep.
Getting around Bradley Hunt. So Ryan's on the move, guys. Ryan's on the move. And he's only 3 seconds behind Robert Cochran.
Our in-car reporter with only 17 to go here, he's having a good run. Tommy, is he available to have a conversation with right now?
He is, and I know he's more than willing when we're able to get him dialed up. Let me see if I can get
down that P5 spot is Bradley Hunt, and he's, I don't know, he's been a little bit loose, but we can get his perspective.
Hey, Brad, we know you got some busy hands down there. How you feeling?
I don't know. It might be Mickey or Minnie tonight.
Yeah, it could be.
Nah, it's me tonight. I'm on a roll, baby.
You're driving good tonight, bud. I mean, setting P5 right now. You got to be setting pretty good in that NWO car. I mean, I know you let Ryan by there, but what do you got? How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Just trying to keep pace. Run my line, and as they always say, have fun and hit your marks.
Yeah,
hit your marks and have fun.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, we certainly don't want to distract you. We just wanted to check in with you, buddy. You're looking real quick out there. We appreciate you being that in-car reporter for us.
Oh, yeah, not a problem. Thank you, guys.
Talk to you after a while, bud.
Good luck the rest of the race. Yeah, so he got his hands full as he lets Ryan jump by, but Ryan is now 4 seconds behind Cochran in 3rd, and he's chasing down Andrew Biznett. So these last 16 laps to go with Ethan Thompson commanding lead out front, barring any cautions, anything like that. This is going to be the race to watch right here in between Robert Cochran, Ryan Shelton, and Andrew Biznett for that second position.
Cochran has gained a lot on Biznett. It's nuts to watch.
I don't know that Cochran's gained so much, but what Biznett has given up. I think those old tires I know it's a gamble. I just don't think this was a wise call.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, 2 tires would have been the way to go. You're in there anyway for that amount of time, and you might as well get at least one. Like I said, at least the right sides. If
Yeah.
you're going to be there, why gamble and not take any tires?
Well,
But Biznet is a gambler, and he likes to try something different on different strategies. So
well,
now that
and
he's tried it, maybe he's learned from it.
well, you make a good point too. Andrew's a smart guy. He likes to gamble, but he's usually smart about it. And I wonder if maybe he checked the wrong box, forgot to check take 2 tires, and it was a simple crew chief mistake, if you will.
I don't know because I've raced with Biznet in the past few weeks. I know Dustin has as well, and he always throws out those oddball. I'm not going to take any tires. It's last time I checked, I was at 60%. I'm good to go to the end, but that extra 40%, especially now when everybody else has that extra 40%, is something that at least that I would want. Even if it's half of that extra 20, at least I can maintain a little bit more pace than I can and try and give up positions. But hey, bringing home P3 is definitely a step in the right direction, even if that happens tonight for him.
Well,
Good.
it's thinking like Biznat here. It's like, hey, I got a chance at P2, maybe P3 if I get past. And that's the worst I could do. Take the chance. I think I respect the chance that he took there.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad assessment. I mean, any points are very valuable, and if you're in the top 5, that's good points. So why jeopardize the points, right? Try to stay out there, do your best, get everything you can.
Yeah, and if you're going to lose that position, like you said, top 5 tonight is huge. Top 5 in any league is huge. Definitely big points up there in the top 2, top 3. He had a big enough lead. Maybe he didn't think that it would take that long even to put in fuel as well. I'm not sure where that strategy came in, but maybe we talk to him after the race and see what his mindset was. Only taking just fuel only, but knowing Andrew, he'll say it was because he looked down and his tire rear wasn't all that bad, and it was just the wrong call. So. That's my prediction. I put on my Swami hat as we see Robert Cochran go underneath, and he's going to take over that P2, I believe, by the time they reach
No.
back to that line. So
I
Now,
mean,
now let
right
me
now it hasn't happened. I mean, Biznat might fight for it. You just never know.
now let me ask you. You guys all put in your ones to watch. Who picked Ethan Thompson?
None of us.
None of
nobody
us.
did. Nobody did.
Not one of us put our people to watch
No.
tonight.
Yeah, the broadcaster jinx struck hard tonight.
That's what we're here for.
Not really, because if you look, hey, now wait a minute. Now I have Robert Cochran over Ryan Shelton, and that is happening right now.
Yeah,
So,
that is happening. And Jay, you did pass Ryan Shelton. I'm sorry I did not get that clip.
Okay, we have to get that clip because I'm not sure how many people out there are laughing right now on the floor, like the emoji, tires coming out. But we have a clip of it, folks. I promise you. We'll try and get it to you. It was a legitimate pass with the number 2 spot there, Andrew Biznat pushing to the front. It was a great race for the iconic series and something.
To be fair, my pick. I know he's coming off that W last night, but it was his birthday on the same night as well. He's probably a little heavier. There's probably a little extra weight in that car right now.
A little bit.
Yeah, and Chuck's strategies, it started to pay off, but then he just got involved in that wreck early, and I think that really just hurt.
Chuck might have gained a beaver or two.
Yeah,
As he's fighting back with Larry Patrick, 4th position.
That is a
Larry
fight for position.
Patrick is passing him 4th position right now. But Chuck's gonna fight back. I mean, that's going to happen.
I've never seen Chuck not fight.
That's a fighting Canadian right there.
Yeah.
So he's going to look back on that inside. But I just said about the bottom line isn't, unless somebody gives it to you. I mean, you could really race somebody on that outside line for sure.
And Chuck knows how to use that mirror. He's one of the few drivers I know that knows how to make that car really feel 3 lanes wide. Great at watching the mirror. I know he works with Greg a lot. The Brazeau family over there, a whole bunch of good guys to learn from, especially when it comes to defensive driving. If you've ever been stuck behind Greg or Shanna or Chuck or any of those guys, they know how to use that mirror and they know how to defend their position.
They know how to work as a team as well. That Canadian team that they have there.
And
respect
Ethan is looking
every minute of it.
That's right. I call him. It's funny because I raced actually during the Iconic Series. I practiced with every single Canadian in the field. I was the only American in the Canadian field, so I called him the Canadian Mafia. I was drag racer. I was drafting with the Canadian Mafia out there. So I'm not. They got the Alabama gang and now the Canadian Mafia.
Yeah, those guys are good. They're all attached family wise to a guy named Jordan Sims who runs one of the professional circuits up there in Canada. Who's raced with TDR a few times, and they get some good pointers from Jordan.
Absolutely. And Greg Brazil was also a good racer. I raced with him quite a bit. But I believe he's a coach of a semi-professional women's hockey team up there.
Yeah.
That he
That's
spends
true.
a lot of
The
time with.
Greyhounds.
So if anybody's in the hockey, they can check out Greg Brazil's team. And those girls do pretty well, from what I understand, in the
Yeah, they're
junior
having a good
circuit there.
time. They're a good team, and Greg's doing good work with them girls and teaching them
Well,
hockey.
you know what they say: if you're a great driver, you're often a leader, and if you're a good leader, you're probably a good coach.
And if I'm a good leader, I'm usually hitting the wall. So
I think it
that's my
goes
theory.
backwards for me as well. I mean,
If
look
I'm
at
leading, there's something wrong with everybody else in the field.
as we
now.
look at Nicholas Smith's car. He's 5 nights at Freddy's car tonight. Looking pretty good tonight.
Yeah, I
He's
love that
great.
paint scheme. He likes to change it up, and he always brings something very
Yeah,
stylish.
always brings something different.
And it's always a scary theme. The Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and now we got the
Well, you had
Freddy
Ideal
car,
like a couple
and
weeks ago. Doing
the
good.
Ideal car. Yeah, absolutely. As we're looking at Larry Patrick, who's 2 laps down, he's looking really good tonight.
Got the Garage King on his hood.
Just a series of unfortunate events for that car tonight.
Yeah.
He was got caught up in a few incidents, as well as the guy behind him there, and Chuck McDonald. He also got caught up. There's
Look at-
Robin Pardon, who also got involved in a little bit of incidents, but is maintaining the lucky dog spot in 6th with 5 to go. So is the U.S. Army car for Robin Pardon.
Check
Yeah,
out
5
Chuck
to go.
McDonald here too as well.
5 to go, and you guys mentioned paint schemes as we cycle through the cars and get a look at everybody. You know what everybody's missing? That Aspen Dental car out there on track.
Aspen
where-
Dental, right?
Yeah,
It's Curran Dental. Curran Dental car.
Current Dental. Hey, not my sponsor, not my problem.
Guys, we do have a pass going on right now for 3rd spot. Ryan Shelton did catch up, and now he's on the hunt to catch up to Robert Cochran. So there's a good battle going on right now, as Ryan Shelton is right around and fighting Biznet for
Yeah,
that.
he is fighting
position.
Biznet right now as we're going through the field.
A lot
Where
of
to
points
go?
on the line. You have Devin Zimmerman not able to participate in this event due to some obligations, and there's a lot of guys out there. I think they're hunting extra hard for points. You got Andrew Biznett trying some unusual strategies, still sitting P4. Robert Cochran sitting P2. Bradley Hunt in 5. These are all guys that need points, and a lot of points are left on the table by Devin Zimmerman tonight.
But really, hats off to Ethan Thompson. I mean, he's driving a great race tonight. He's not having the problems that he's had. He's driving a clean race, looking great in that whatever he's in. I can't say that.
DroneWorks.
DroneWorks.
Chevrolet.
Yeah, and talking with Ethan, now that I hear DroneWorks, he's great with the drone. I mean, he's doing great work with that, looking through houses, looking through anything, doing that as his job. He's, but he's having that great race tonight. And Tommy alluded to it earlier. Not one of us in the booth picked him tonight.
No, and he's an easy one to pick. He's someone that runs up front. We've seen him. I think he's won 2 races this season. So, he knows how to get up there in front and win. And you said it, Dustin. He's ran a good race. He's ran a clean race. Hasn't had a lot of mistakes. And one could argue, if it wasn't for mistakes made by someone who was sitting in P1, nobody else would be up there.
Correct. And I'm guessing it's the same mistake that someone made Friday night.
Yeah, I think a certain someone's kicking themselves in the pants right now, and they'll be sending me a nasty email Monday morning after they watch this, or Tuesday morning.
Yeah, I might be getting a couple nasty Facebook messages as well. We might be getting a few nasty messages in post interviews possibly as well.
Right.
He knows who he is, and he knows what he did, and it's just that thing, right? Like, you make mistakes on pit road every now and then. Unfortunately, he's had 2 in a row now, and me personally, if I do something wrong, I address it and I get better. And I know Ryan Shelton's able to, as we see Robert Cochran hit the wall here with 1 to go.
Right, as Ethan Thompson
Ryan
takes the checkered
Shelton's
flag.
gonna take second place on the last lap here. I knew that was going to be close.
Oh, no. Cochran gets into the wall. They overcome each other coming down into turn 3 and 4. And it's that's a heartbreak for Robert.
But Robert Cochran taking P3. That's got to be a victory for him.
Yeah, heck of a job in that last position. We were just talking about the mistakes that Ryan had made, and Robert Cochran made one little mistake there. Ryan Shelton, one of the superior drivers out here, was able to be right there and capitalize on that. Congratulations to all three. Ethan Thompson coming on P1, Ryan Shelton in second, Robert Cochran in third, Andrew Bisnet fourth place, and Bradley Hunt, our in-car reporter, rounding out the top five.
In sixth spot was Robin Pardon, 1 lap down. Seventh was Nicholas Smith. Chuck McDonald, eighth. Larry Patrick, ninth. Rick Kohler, who had those earlier incidents, is our top 10. Devin Zimmerman did not make it tonight, and that's unfortunate, but only 10 cars in the field, and that rounds out your field for this evening.
But Devin Zimmerman's wife getting him into the field, I mean, at least gives him some points. I mean, that, obviously dealing with screaming children, it happens.
Yeah, and we have to give a shout out to Jim Nounham, the driver formerly known as race control for this series, as Andrew Bisnet will take over for him moving forward. And we thank Andrew Bisnet for stepping up and stepping in.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely. And that's actually not, that's going to help Devin Zimmerman, so he can thank his wife for that, because Devin Zimmerman, even though he started 11th, a start and park basically earned 33 points on this evening. So
if you can get the car to the track, it does have a position on it.
That's right. As we see that nice drone works Chevrolet sitting in victory lane, I think we should pull our winner up here and let's talk to him and get a good idea of his race and how it went tonight.
Well, I'm pretty sure it went well for him, but we'll find out how he's feeling. Hey, Ethan, Tommy up in the booth, you got a read on us?
Yeah, gotcha.
Hey, man, another victory. You almost made it look easy. What was the key to success? And you can't say other people's mistakes.
Okay, if I can't say that. Honestly, and I told this to Ryan too. This is him running well there in the beginning actually helped me quite a bit, because I ran so much faster in the beginning than I did in the end, just because when you've got something to chase, it can be a little bit easier to stay focused, and you're seeing where one person's faster than you are, and it helped me a lot in that first run, because I was able to get back up to him and pass him in that first run. The only thing though was that if things hadn't gone the way they did on pit road, he took 2 tires, I took 4. It would have been really hard for me to catch him, because the left sides just really didn't burn up all that much. But I mean, like I said, I think it's just having somebody to compete with there in the beginning that seemed to help me.
Well, congratulations on bringing it home. This is your second win of the season. And your buddy Devin wasn't there, so it's going to be a big points gain for you, at least trying to close that gap in a little bit. So bringing home the top spot, leading a few laps, going to add some points. So that's going to close the gap, kind of like where you left off last year, chasing Devin Zimmerman for the title. Howard, did you take? I think you took 2 tires right on that stop, or did you take 4?
No, I took 4. Ryan took 2.
And did that seem to help your car more, or were you just not taking any chances with the 2?
I guess I just really wasn't taking chances with the 2. I think that was something Ryan learned from being in the race Friday night, and it didn't really quite come to mind for me to try taking 2. But obviously it worked, because he was still running pretty similar times to what we were running in the first run.
Now, for everyone out there taking notes, the more TDR races you run in, the more TDR experience you have.
Yeah, Ethan, I know you wanted to run in that charity race, and you just missed it Friday night, from what I understood, right?
Yeah, I got home at like
Robert Cochran. We had a couple early cautions, and Robert Cochran took right side tires, and that's where Ryan learned that.
Yeah, Robert Cochran really made Ryan Shelton, Robert Cochran was making Ryan Shelton sweat Friday night.
It was hilarious to watch. It was fun to watch. Should say
Absolutely.
hilarious. It was fun to watch.
Well, Robert was definitely quick again tonight.
Yes, he was.
Hats off to Robert.
Yeah, absolutely. And one last question, Ethan. Having Robert up there in the top three with you guys all night, he sniffs there. He's always in the top five, but he was really a strong competitor tonight. What's it like running with someone who isn't always door handle to door handle with you?
It's nice to see because I mean, the more competitive that we can all be, it's just going to make us all better. So it's definitely really nice to see.
That's the truth.
Well, why don't you shout out some sponsors? I see you got a nice looking number 9 card tonight. Why don't you shout out your
Yeah.
sponsors and
Yeah.
Yeah, so decided to mix it up and throw my business's name on the car just for a new look. So shout out to me, I guess. I don't know. What do you call that?
Droneworks?
Drone works?
Yeah.
So here's what you do: you say your business name, like get really excited, but you say Drone Works, and then you tell everybody a little bit about what you do, and then when you're done telling them what you do, you tell them how to find you.
That's right.
Yeah. So it's
We're
I
learning. We're
guess
all
I
we're
guess
all
it's
learning here.
I guess it's a little too hard to see, but it actually says Thompson above it, so it says Thompson Drone Works. But yeah, I run a drone company doing photography, video, um, indoor drone tours, stuff of that nature.
That's
And
really cool, man. I know.
Yep.
I know a lot of people, and especially veterans, they don't like to be braggadocious or talk about themselves a lot. But like, you're doing a really cool thing, man, and you won a race tonight. You got your company on your car. You gotta give a shout out to yourself. You made it happen tonight and brought home that W.
You put your
Oh.
name on the car. I mean, you're in victory lane. This is your time to shine. I would take all advantage of it because it's
Yeah.
your night, pal.
Definitely.
I take it back. Instead of giving Ryan Shelton pit entry lessons, I'm gonna give all the drivers interview lessons.
Well, no, it wasn't even a pit entry where he had his mistake.
What was it?
He somehow accidentally unchecked his fuel. He didn't take fuel,
Oh, goodness
Oh.
gracious!
No.
so
Well,
he had
I
to
was-
go back in.
I was actually.
Now we're getting nasty emails
Yeah.
on Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right, now, I have one question for Ethan. Ethan, if that didn't happen, he came out with you. Do you think you would have had a shot to be up there? I mean, were you gained? Did the times were similar? Do you think you would have had a nice little fight there at the end if anything didn't happen with Ryan?
I don't know if I would have been able to get to him because when I came back out, he had like a 5 something second
Yep.
lead on me. So even with having the 2 tires that he didn't take, it still would have been really tough to gain that much.
And I know you stayed out an extra lap after everybody, right? You came in right behind him on that second lap.
I came in the next lap after him.
Right. Well, anyway, congratulations, Ethan Thompson,
Yeah.
DroneWorks number 9. Chevrolet looks really good. I mean, he put it hurting on the field tonight, so that puts you 2 wins on the season, closes that point gap. I mean, that's got to be something exciting going into these last 4 races of the season. So I'd be celebrating all week. You take them as you can get them, any way you can get them. Just ask anybody out there who pray for rain when they don't have that great of a car. So congratulations, Ethan, on your win. Thank you for all your service. Sharon says great job for everybody out there and everybody. So congratulations, and we'll see you next week. Go celebrate that win, bud.
Yeah, Ethan, I
Thanks.
want to get some drone techniques from you. I got one myself, and we'll get in touch.
I got
Right.
you, man. Yeah, I'll help you out. And I'll also thank one more person. I'll thank Alex Bowman for showing me how to back into wins.
Well,
Love you,
On
bud.
On that note, there you go. So yeah, I'm telling you what, that was definitely a stab, but
to
definitely
everybody
a great
at,
win.
at Henrik's Motorsports, you can send your complaints to Dustin.Veldhusen at.
Hey, you know what? If they come down
At-
here and
at
watch this, that's just more
TommyHebert.com.
publicity for us.
Right. Well, Ethan, congratulations, buddy. We're gonna let you go back to the drivers and celebrate it. I think we gotta get. Oh,
Yeah, you better get
Alright.
Ethan back in the booth, though.
All right, thanks, guys.
Or back up
You bet.
top.
You betcha.
Let's grab Ryan down here.
having some technical difficulties here. Okay, let's.
And so if Cochran, if you're out there listening, we're going to talk to you, bud. Don't go
Well,
anywhere.
let's bring Cochran down here.
Yeah, let me get Robert Cochran.
He's had a great run tonight. Great run the last weekend.
the
Yeah, he's been on
radio
top of
is
it.
really
lately.
chaotic. I think I got him now, though. Hey,
There's a
Robert,
wild man.
Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on us?
I got a read on you.
Hey man, you showed up Friday night in the charity race for the Letchworth State Park fundraiser. Heck of a performance there. I think you taught Ryan a lesson unintentionally, and you had
Yeah.
it for him again tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
You had a good run
It was
tonight,
good.
though.
Third. I mean,
It
yeah,
was good.
third.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, this is the league that is fun. These guys are great to race with. And you know what? I think Michigan's probably, I'm gonna have to say it's one of my best tracks.
So
I just like it. It's comfy.
is this your best finish in a vets race?
Hmm, I
It
think
might
it.
be.
I think
It's
it
got to be
is it
close.
is or it's close. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you showed us Friday night when you made that chance of taking that right side tire strat. You battled with them up top, and you did
Yeah,
it again today. How
I
Oh
did.
tonight?
yeah.
How does that
Listen,
feel to battle with the top guys in the field?
it's good. You see how nervous I got when I crashed at the beginning with Ryan?
Oh,
I
you
mean,
didn't crash.
can make
Ryan
it.
crashed.
Yeah.
You can make
Yeah.
But listen, it's amazing because the track was different. The two tires tonight, I was loose
Oh,
really bad.
really?
It was,
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't as good as it was Friday, but I ran as fast as I could to get the positions I did at the end, even though the car was all over the place.
Well,
Yeah.
you
We
know,
saw. Believe it or not, Biznet took no tires. I don't even know how he
yeah,
was holding on to that
I,
thing at
We
the
can't
end.
figure that one out.
I'm kind of curious what his tire percentage was at the end of the night.
Right.
41%.
41%.
41%. Nice.
That's
My
that's using
my
it all right there.
mine was 41% after that run when I came in it for two tires.
Oh, wow. So
And I
he saved
and
a
Right.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I practiced earlier, and two tires wasn't working at all at this track. Not as good as it did Friday night. But
Yeah.
So
other drivers said differently. But
with
that's
the
fine.
Well,
with the race Friday night compared to tonight, I know Jay and I had raced in it. Tommy was in the booth, but was the track temperature that much different, or do you have anything that tells you that? I guess that's the question I have.
I think they said the track was hotter,
Yeah,
which was fine.
that makes sense
yeah.
then. Yeah,
Yeah. The track was much cooler on Friday night. I believe that was an evening race, so it was
not a
probably a
night
good
race. Yeah, not
10,
a
20 degrees track temp difference.
And knowing toward the end of the race, the car was sliding a lot more. I was still forcing. I was still forcing the issue. I really wanted to get to that second position, but
yeah.
I lost
You
it.
had it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You
I
had
did.
a good Michigan stripe on the left, right, and
Oh yeah.
left. Tommy and Jay, what
Yes.
did we name that stripe today?
I think it's a rush stripe just because the Michigan started and
Well,
Detroit's starting to die
Nice.
down a little bit.
my favorite stripe Robert got was you guys called it an attaboy when Ryan
Attaboy.
Oh
telt
yeah, when Ryan
when he
tapped the
closed the
back
door on
bumper.
Ryan and Ryan tapped him under it. Now Andy taps me under yellow all the time, and it is not an attaboy. What did you think about that tap? Was that a love tap, like, hey man,
Under
you gonna buy
caution.
me, or was that like a watch out, I'm coming for you?
The one under caution, Robert.
Honestly, I think he was nervous. I think he was scared because I had something up my sleeve, and he
Had to
and he had to just
had to
tweak that
spook you.
spoiler just
he
enough.
he
Yeah,
had
Tweak
he
the
had to
spoiler
be
just enough.
nervous. He had to be nervous from what you showed him Friday night.
Right. And you know what? The other thing is, I really thought he thought the Ford emblem on the back of my car was still wet because he really wanted it on the nose
Oh,
of his car.
we're gonna
He
get
wanted to be
we're
fast.
gonna get into that.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into that when we talk into Discord. Okay, I
yeah,
got this.
yeah. Well, Robert, we'll get you back to the drivers. Congratulations on
Yeah.
Awesome.
the podium
Congratulations.
finish.
Great
All those
run.
points that come with it, man. Thank you
Yeah.
for the show and thank you for your service.
Awesome. It's awesome the race in this league. These guys are great. They're all awesome drivers, and I love racing every week with these guys. And you guys do a great job up in the booth, and I appreciate that. So y'all have a good night.
All right, you two, it's
We
our
appreciate
pleasure,
it.
and we love watching you guys race it out. So back at you, bud.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
I agree with that first thing, but the second thing, I didn't know Robert Cochran was such a liar talking about how good we do up here.
Well, yeah,
I
yeah, no.
I
They
honestly
gotta.
no.
They we hey, you know.
we
Speaking of doing good up here,
Well,
we
you know
got
that they get the checks every time that they mention a good job. So it's kind of like the
yeah.
Coke. You drink the Coke, you get the sponsorship, you get a little bit of extra cash for your car. So you got to
Well,
mention that we
I
do a
didn't
good
drink
job to
more
get that.
Coke then.
I guess I got to start patting myself on the back up here.
I think we need to pull Ryan Shelton down here. He's
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
I
let's
was-
pull our
chat.
second place down here. I think he's finally away from the trailer, maybe wiped off his hands a little
He's
bit. That
he's a
was one
little
heck of a
upset.
run.
Yeah, heck
Right?
of a run.
Ryan, do you have any shoe marks on your butt from kicking yourself in the pants?
No, I mean, yeah, it sucks.
We
I,
kind of heard what happened. You forgot to click your fuel.
Yeah.
yeah. It was a bad one. I don't know. I guess I had to go wake up my fuel man. I think he was taking a nap.
Well, us up in the
we thought
booth, we were
something Nithrin.
yeah, we were thinking you sped again.
No, no. I'd wish that's what it was. At least it would have
Like,
been something.
we-
Me trying to
we-
go faster. I've
saw
never
you-
had that.
We
We're-
saw you come back down, and it was like, oh, there's Ryan, Speedy McSpeeder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's just I don't know. I got into I went into the pits and I was gonna since we ran this race on Friday, I knew that 2 tires was probably gonna be better than 4. But
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was going to be better over the 80 laps that we ran because the last time I did it, it was only 20 laps and I changed right sides. And then we ran, I think it was 60, and then we were done. But this time it was 80 laps. You have to go on your left side tires. And I didn't know after 40 laps how it would feel. And got into the pits, saw where my tires were on the percentages or whatever, and I clicked them off, and I guess I clicked off my fuel too at the same time. I went back out on track, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you only got 5 laps of fuel," and I was like, "Oh, what?
What?
Oh what?"
Oh, what?
Now,
So,
now, Andrew Bisnett has been talk of the town, somehow holding on to P4. What do you think would happen if you had taken no tires in this entire race?
I wouldn't have finished second.
well,
I
with
I mean,
not taking fuel,
well,
you took second. I mean, come on.
true. Now I don't know. I don't. It would have gotten really tight, and I probably would have kept hitting the wall because the car was tight. It was very tight. That's why I wanted to take 2 right side tires.
Now that damage that you had in with when Cochran got a little bit loose coming out in the early part of the race, that first stint, did that hurt your car at all, or were you able to?
I was still running pretty solid laps, but I knew it was going to go green, so I was trying to save that right front tire, and then Ethan got the 1 second that you need. Basically, these cars have DRS, where if you get within 1 second of a driver, you pick up this massive draft, and that's just something with these cars. And he got in that little bucket of time and caught up to me, and we compared notes at the pit stop, and his tires were about as good as mine. So I don't know. Maybe maybe I got to run harder next time.
Well, next week we go to your hometown track is Charlotte next week. So how are you at Charlotte? I know you're really good in all the other ones. How you think gonna compare next week?
Well, last season we ran there in the Gen 6s, and it was a lot of fun because there was 2 lanes. You could run the bottom, you could run the top, and it made for a really interesting finish last season. So I don't really know what to expect. I don't know if I have a lap at that track in this car, so we'll see how it goes.
I know what to expect. Some great door handle to door handle racing.
So,
Right, but
hopefully so.
Cochran definitely. Cochran,
so
all right, that's another thing. When Cochran got by you on that first run,
Oh yeah.
for that lap around 8 or so before that second caution, and you went up and tapped him on the back. Was that a tap to get him scared, or was that an attaboy tap?
Oh, that was just me messing with him. We've become pretty good friends over the last couple of months, and it's really encouraging to see that he's improving and he's taken some of the things I've told him, and he's really started to show his speed that he can have. So it's encouraging to know that you put time and effort into somebody and they're actually wanting to do better and they're showing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's several drivers that mention your name when we talk to them post race about how helpful you are with the community. So everyone out there appreciates that.
Right.
Man, Were you nervous at all about him beating you? Like, obviously, I know you're an accomplished winner, so losing one, your points are pretty steady. It wouldn't hurt you too bad. Coming to P2, still got solid points. When it comes to getting that W, though, did you think Robert Cochran had what it took to take it from you?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I think he could have won this race. He had a few mistakes.
I think so too.
But he had a few mistakes. It's definitely stuff that he can learn and he can work on. Stuff that he did, he's finally had a race where he's up front. He's using all that speed that he's gotten. Now he's running up front, and you got to learn how to kind of control it. And that's the next step. Now that he knows that he has speed, he's running fast. He's running up front. Week in and week out. He's got to figure out how to keep that speed throughout the entire race.
Yeah.
And so at that last lap, he was like, "Man, you got me," and I was like, "We don't talk like that, we don't talk like that." And he came off turn 2 and just smacked the wall, and he was like, "Yeah, I was pushing it too hard," and I was like, "I know that's what you're doing, but also you can't do that. You can't just go ahead and say that you lost."
So Robert was saying that it's a little hotter on the track right now. Was it a little looser tonight than it was Friday night?
No, it was tighter. When the track gets hot, if
Hot as slick.
Yeah, hot as slick.
Yep,
So
there you go.
what it does, the hotter the track is, the more it's going to show the inabilities of the car. So quick setup tip: if you're building a setup, jack the temperature all the way up. Put it 1 o'clock in the afternoon with no sun out or with no clouds out.
It only gets better after that.
Well, yeah. Well, it's going to show
I like to hear.
the worst part of your car.
Yep.
If your car's loose, it's going to be loose. But if you can get it to work in that environment, it'll translate over to a colder track.
Good to hear. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, and
All right, everybody, get your pen and pencils out and write that down.
Right.
Oh, I
was gonna
learned
say-
that from one of the pro drivers, Ray Alfala. I learned that from him. He
Oh, wait.
posted a video a couple of years ago.
I thought you were gonna say you learned that from the McCanns.
No, I learned that from the iRacing the 4-time iRacing NASCAR championship.
No, I was going to mention before we let you go. So before I got in the booth, you guys were finishing up the Miata League that you guys participated in on Mondays. And I heard you coaching one of the other drivers. I wasn't talking. I was just kind of eavesdropping a little bit. And the way you talked about his setup. So he had bought all this equipment, wanted to be fast. It's not the equipment. It's being comfortable. You kept asking, are you comfortable doing this? Are you comfortable doing that? And that is the first step to being fast, is being comfortable in what you're driving.
Right. And I've learned that firsthand. As I was telling them, I've been on iRacing for almost 10 years. So I've had a few different things that I've used. So I started out on an Xbox wheel, a wheel that was the Microsoft Xbox wheel, no force feedback, 270, one of the worst pedal sets in the world.
I had a Thrustmaster NASCAR Pro Digital that kicked the dust like 2 years ago.
Yeah, and
but I'd had it for like 12 years.
That thing was better than what I had.
Right, because you have to adjust to what's comfortable. Like, you can throw a bunch of money at equipment, but now you have to learn this whole new thing you own.
Well, yeah, and so I kept stepping up, and every time I would step up, I would slow down, but it would take me a little while for me to get comfortable with it, and then I'd be good. And then this last step up I just did last year, I got a VRS direct drive wheel and Fanatec V3 pedals within about a month of each other.
Pretty.
Well, the direct drive wheel was a wedding present from one of my groomsmen.
No, that's a wedding investment,
right?
It's a wedding investment.
That was one of his gifts that he gave me. So, but I was used to the wheel. The wheel was fine, but then I got the Fanatec V3 pedals, and I couldn't hit my braking points like I used to, and so it took me I think it probably took me about 2 or 3 months to get used to them, and then I could finally actually use them for what they're used for. And so for those 2 or 3 months, I was one of the slowest guys on the track because I could not figure it out.
Yeah,
I got very close to switching back to my old pedals.
it's so
It
funny.
comes down to what your setup is.
Yeah.
Like both in the real world and in the virtual world, that there's no substitute for good quality practice with what you have.
Right. Right.
Learning your
For sure.
car in the real world, learning your equipment in the virtual world. There's guys that play this on a controller and do very well.
Yep.
I could not.
Yeah. No. No
Right,
way. No
right,
way.
right.
No way.
But it's knowing what the equipment can do. So if your car is virtual, you have to rely on the inputs from your virtual car into what you have to control it. And with enough practice, you can be good driving with anything, really.
I will say my very first win in iRacing was on mouse and keyboard.
There
What?
you go.
Wow.
That was I raced for the first like 4 or 5 days
What?
on
Are
iRacing.
you wasted? You doing WASD or what?
Yeah, it was gas and brake were W&S, and then my steering was with the mouse,
Wow.
and then my up and down shift was A and D.
Wow.
So I did that for about 4 or 5 days, and I got one win and a bunch of wreck outs.
Yeah.
But
so for those of you who aren't following along, it's kind of like if I was to go out, or you were to go out and take Tiger Woods golf clubs, you're not going to shoot the 13 under like he did at the Masters.
Right.
But if he takes your clubs out, he's going to be shooting under par and doing a lot better than you will. So it's
Yeah.
all about the talent and not the equipment.
At the end of the day,
It's getting used to your equipment.
Yes.
Yeah,
used to the equipment.
and that's
Yeah.
another thing is getting used to it and being comfortable. I went to Petit Le Mans probably 4 years ago, and I was there with one of the iRacing staff members, and me and him had raced off and on with each other. Normally, I was faster than him. We got into this like motion rig with all this crap on it. It was like probably 50 grand worth of a rig, and he was faster than me because he was more used to a motion rig because he had like the little small ones or whatever. But I wasn't used to it. I couldn't even. It was a Miata at Road Atlanta, and I couldn't do a lap.
Wow. It's all about getting used to what you're doing.
Yep.
But man,
you gotta get
Ryan,
used to it.
you are like number one as far as supporter for everybody in the league. You are what exemplifies a TDR and what TDR is all about by helping everybody. No one's more deserving to bring home P2. Sorry you couldn't hold it out for Ethan, but we're gonna have to let you get back down there. We got a couple other people we need to talk to. But I will
Absolutely.
give you great news. You are now in you're 3 points above Andrew Bisnet in third spot in the point system. So you're working your way back up to it.
Yeah, I'm still 29 points behind.
Yep. So you're still working up through the field, but congratulations on that.
Absolutely.
And sharing your tips, and everybody loves racing with you, even though you kick our butts on a daily basis, but we still love racing with you.
Yeah.
And I think attests to a lot of how you are and how you help people along the way. I'm not going to bring up anything else this evening, although I could mention something about the iconic race, but we'll let you get back down there.
No, don't do that.
Thank you for the show.
Thank you
Let's
for
clear
your
the throat.
service.
Thank you for your service, bud.
Oh man. Who else you guys want to talk to? We got Nicholas
Bring
Smith. We got
Bisnet up
Bradley
here.
Hunt,
Oh, we have
Bisnet.
to bring Bisnet up here
Well,
because
let's either Bisnet or
no, we
Nicholas
have to bring
Smith.
Bisnet. We have to bring Bisnet
Yeah,
up here.
I agree. We have to get Andrew up here.
Hopefully, he's by his trailer.
Talk about lap 79 with no tires. Andrew, this is Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on me?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's
Yeah.
it like holding on that long with no fresh rubber?
It wasn't bad, honestly. My tires were, as I was
It
coming
was a
down
good
to,
strategy.
yeah, well, here's the problem. I knew how much fuel I had to take, and I had everything checked off. And then when I got into the pit, for some reason, I don't know why my mind thought I didn't have it right. So I just said to fill the whole car. I could have taken tires at that if I knew I was going to change it, but I probably would have come out a few seconds ahead. But I think Ryan probably would have caught me either way. But I was looking at my times coming down into the pit stop, and they weren't. Like I was only off by maybe a couple of tenths, and I knew I wasn't going to win the race, so I said I might as well try to stay ahead of a few people by just keeping the tires that quite frankly, I was comfortable with.
It's good to know that now with your pit timing, because they asked me to break out the stopwatch and I didn't have it handy, and we were missing that data point.
Yes, you missed the data point.
But you're always a story on pit road, and not taking tires, trying to save that track position. I think that pays off for you in the long run to get you these top fives consistently. You're looking really good in points right now. What's it gonna take to get to the W? What's that alternative strategy that gets you to the front?
Uh, God, that's a good question. I mean, just looking at the schedule that what we have left here, Daytona is probably my best shot because I'm pretty good at super speedways. I just missed out on the win on the Iconic the other day, and I finished second in the trucks in the Class C Open this
Yeah,
week. So
I brought that up here. Michigan's it's a long track. It's kind of super speedway esque and a little flatter, and you tend to do really well at flat tracks. You do well at really fast tracks. I'm just curious. You got 4 races to go. You got Charlotte coming up next. You got Daytona on the schedule. Kind of, where are you looking to make your big move and try to get some of these valuable season points?
other than Daytona, I think maybe Bristol. Charlotte and Atlanta are kind of similar to each other, and I'm okay at there, but I think that the other guys ahead of me they're still better than me at all those. They're just that much better. Where Bristol is, it's really much a fast rhythm track, and
I
I
love
just
Bristol.
gotta keep that pedal down as long as you can there.
I love Bristol. You give me the fast car on a low line, I'm having a blast down there.
No, you
It's
gotta
a
run that. You gotta run the high line.
No, 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 no. That's for no.
I mix it up honestly. It also depends on how much traffic we have, So
Yeah, definitely.
I stay low, dig in, burn up the tires, flip it. That's my strategy.
Yeah, but we're teasing into the Iconic series coming up later in the year
Is
with
it a
Bristol
Bristol?
Night Race.
Oh, man.
500
Yeah.
miles.
We should try to broadcast that. I know a lot of you guys are involved, but I need to see if I got someone who's not driving that wants to.
You.
Yeah, it can't just be me. I don't know how to do anything but talk.
I'll get Janelle in there with you. We'll have a good night. We'll have a good morning.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do.
well, I'm sure whoever's up there, you guys will have a great time either way. You guys do a great job with us, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
We
Like
really
I said,
appreciate
it's
everything
our
you guys
pleasure
do.
every week. Every week we enjoy watching you. You're like the chess man out there. We never can guess exactly what you're doing, exactly what you're thinking. So you're like one of those strategists that we're always chasing and always talking about week in, week out. What are you gonna do? What aren't you gonna do? You're gonna take tires, not take tires.
I gotta
Saving
ask you
fuel,
guys.
you're
I gotta
not
ask you guys
saving
out.
fuel.
Yes.
How much did you guys think I was saving fuel today?
Yep.
A lot.
I thought you were saving fuel.
I did.
yeah,
I clutched once, and I don't even know why I did. But
Ooh.
otherwise, I had
Well,
no
somebody
intention
on
of
pit
saving
road.
fuel
Who
today.
who was it in
Somebody
pit
on-
road?
Somebody on pit road heard that and reported to us that you were saving fuel
I-
like an SOB.
I
Tom
mean,
is-
to
Tom
be
Rule.
fair, 9 times
It
out
was
of 10 I
Tom
am.
Rule.
But this race, once I got to once we got out of that second caution, I mean, this was going to be a one pit stop race anyway, no matter what.
Yeah, it was.
Right.
Because
It,
I'm good at saving fuel. I'm not saving 30 laps of fuel on a 2-mile track. So
Tom Rule said in the chat, BizNet is saving fuel.
Mhm.
Has
Well, he's-
always is. He always
he's
is.
seen me do it enough times to know. So he's not necessarily wrong, but today was not a fuel save day.
See, now
But-
my thought was after you went so long and you had about 29 to go before you even went in, my thought was you were just taking it as far as you can go to only get 1 can of fuel and
And-
possibly 2 tires. Is
And
that
like I said, I double thought myself for some reason, and I had it set to I think 12.7, which is it's somewhere right at 1 can of fuel.
So why not
Um,
take the
Yeah.
one set of tires?
You know,
Or-
I tried just getting right sides before, and I wasn't sure how this car was going to react
See,
because I didn't want it to be too loose coming out through the turns. I was already loose. I was already loose in the middle of turn 1 and tight coming off of 2, and I didn't want to screw up what I was already quote unquote comfortable with.
see,
Yeah.
BizNet was celebrating, what was it, Mom's birthday, Friday night.
Yeah, Friday. Yeah.
So
happy birthday to your mom, by the way?
thank you.
BizNet didn't get the insider information that Cochran gave to Shelton. That right side tires work on this track.
Yeah, Friday night, Robert and Cochran had the magic formula, and he had Ryan Shelton sweating at
Yeah,
this track.
he did.
And
Yeah.
the whole key was 2 tires.
Well, and he was gonna beat Shelton today, and he unfortunately got into the wall coming out of 2 on the very
Yeah.
last lap. I
Right.
saw that. I was like, no, he had him. But
But he
Yeah.
admittedly had said that Ryan had made him nervous. So
Yeah.
being up there at the front, Robert's I mean, he's fast, and he knows he was fast tonight, and he had the car that probably to beat tonight. But like I said, I mean, he just got to learn that comfortability about running up front, like Ryan had mentioned. Once he learns that comfortability, you better watch out, because if we come back here next year, I think Robert's going to be the one to beat.
Maybe
Yeah,
you
Back
know, that's
Sports needs to have more charity races at the races that we race at on Monday nights.
yeah. You know, hey, if you can take advantage of getting that extra time in, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's for sure.
I
Back
love
charities.
it. It's hard to put big events like that together and get prizes and do all the donations, but I agree if we had more charity events and then like it was themed with a race later that week, it would help a bunch of guys.
Oh
Hey,
yeah, it'd be a
absolutely.
blast.
It'd be fun. But like I said, it's a lot of stuff to give away and things like that. But I think if you cut back even on the giveaways and just come out and watch our guys race, I'm sure they'd love to just see it come out and support the charity
Yeah.
as well. I mean, we don't have to
We're
necessarily give stuff away every time
we're
that we hit the
we're,
track for these charity events.
we're never cutting back on the giveaways. If people are gonna open their hearts and open their wallets, gosh darn it, so are we.
Right.
Okay, well, I'm just saying that there's not 100. Everybody got to do two and thing, because if you get up to 1,000 people, that's a lot of giveaways to be giving away $1,000 worth of 1,000 things. But
Well,
I
we'll
mean,
cross that
we're
bridge when we get there. We'll make it happen.
Yes.
absolutely, but no, it's great racing. It's all around. I mean, the vets and first responders, I think, is the most funnest thing out there. You guys put on one heck of a show, week in,
Yeah.
week out. You never know who's going to be there, never know who's not. Devin Zimmerman threw a big wrench in the thing today. You are
Yeah.
maintaining fourth spot, but I do have a spoiler alert that I'm not allowed to mention at the present moment. But as
Oh.
of now, you do have you're maintaining fourth spot. Ryan Shelton just passed you, so you got a bit of work to do here going into the last 4 races of the season. But hey, Daytona, anything can happen. We know that. We've seen it in Talladega. Always the super speedways are the wild cards. You never
They
know
are.
what's going to happen.
And you never know. You know, I hope I didn't jinx myself when I was talking in the race today. I mentioned how I did the iconic, the NIS race, and a Class C Open race, about 300 laps at Talladega total, and I didn't get into a single accident. So I'm hoping I didn't jinx myself for next week in Gas and Go or a few weeks in the vets. So we'll
Well,
see though.
we certainly wish you the best of luck in all the TDR leagues you're in. I know you're running a. Thank you for the show tonight. Thank you for your service. Congratulations on the top 5 and getting some of those valuable points.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
Thanks again for what you guys are doing up there. I can't wait to watch the replay tomorrow when I get a chance.
Like I said, every week it's our pleasure to watch you guys out there, and hey, we enjoy watching it as much as you enjoy racing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And for anyone out there listening, especially the drivers and any of the major networks who may have offended, you can address your complaints to Upside Down Ebert at DustinVeldhusen.com.
I have a website now. This is amazing.
Hey, bad press, any press. I mean, look at some of the people who have the worst press in the world. Bad press is a good press. You know what I mean? Anything that we can get focused on these guys, I'll take it. Whether it's good, bad, ugly, it doesn't really matter. Let's
You know
bring it
what?
on. Let's focus these, and let's showcase some talent, because
You know
there's a
what?
lot of talent out there.
You know what they say, and I don't know who they are. Any publicity is good publicity. So love it or hate it. This is the Vets broadcast. Go share it out there. Go tell everybody. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe.
It's notification button.
These guys are incredible, right? Like every week, it's something different. It's something exciting. Every now and then we have some humdrum spread out racing, but we really haven't seen that out of this particular series.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, if the leader usually gets out front, and it's usually at the back of somebody else, but when they get out front, it's usually is a big lead. But there's a lot of racing in between that these guys put on against each other. From 2nd through 10th every week. It's just they keep coming, they keep coming, they keep putting on great shows no matter where we go. And we always have something to talk about. It's not like I haven't heard one person snore up here except for Tommy. I think that one day when we opened up the show, but that was
Oh,
about it.
I had a large meal that day, and
The taco day, yeah.
oh boy, Larry backing it up here.
But other than
Oh,
that, no, these guys do put on one heck of a show week in, week out. Thank them all for their service and everything that they do for us. Like I said, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the share. If you don't like us, maybe somebody else will. You never know. There's a lot of crazy people out there who might want to come out and listen to us banner every week and support the vets and the first responders, which we couldn't ask for anything better.
100%. And going into next week, where it's Charlotte, it is the first of the final 4 races. Does anybody have the points available? I know the points are really tight up front right now.
Yeah, Steven Zimmerman still maintains the lead with 399. Ethan Thompson 391. Ryan Shelton 370. So he's 29 back. Andrew Bisnett 367. Robert Cochran moves into the 5th spot 344. Chuck McDonald 342. Robin Pardon 322. Bradley Hunt 321 and 8th
Did
spot. Nicholas Smith 277. Paul Vosberg maintains our 10th spot 176. Rick Kohler and 11th 171. Stephen Green 134. Larry Patrick, who is a part-time driver, came out tonight 13th with 98 points.
A lot of
Did
names
you
in that top
refresh?
10.
Did you refresh some points, Jay?
Yes, I did. I did refresh the
Like
points. That's what they
recently?
are. Yes, recently.
Well,
Yeah, just I
I
start pulling them up now.
I
Unless
I got a message at 9:19, which is my time. So
yeah, which
10:19.
states, but there's no the points have not been updated
Okay.
completely as they stand right now. The staging points still, due to a technical glitch, have not been
Yeah,
updated
there you go.
inside.
That's what I wanted you to see there.
So they will be by the end of the season, but as of now, that's where the points stand.
So we
I
need
tell
to
you-
add about 10 points for Shelton there, for
I
sure,
tell you
because
what,
from Watkins.
I love racing, but I hate math.
Well, there's a little bit of a technical glitch after Watkins
Well-
blend stage racing stuff like that, but that's where they stand right
With
now.
with
going into
racing though,
next-
Tommy, isn't that a lot of math?
yeah,
It
got to
is a lot of
calculate.
math. That's why I
Ca-
rely on guys like us to do it. Oh crap, I'm guys like us, aren't I?
Yeah, we're
Oh
guys
my
like us.
goodness, you just
Yeah.
that's it. That goes into the tip jar. That'll be shipped out next week.
Maybe I should refine my my level of mathematic ability.
Sorry, Malachi, for still listening. For potty mouth up here, we have to slap him on the
Potty-
back of the hand and have put him in the
potty mouth.
timeout corner.
Well, Malachi might be able to help us with the math.
I can't-
Yeah,
Oh, I did say a bad word, didn't I?
yes, you did. So you don't want
Malachi,
apology out there.
Malachi might be able to help us with the math.
That's right. So if we
That's
send
very
him,
true.
he may be able to figure it out and have it figured out by the time we hit Charlotte next week. Have the points straightened out.
If you get one touchdown in one game and another touchdown in the same game,
That's
how many
still
touchdowns
two.
did you get that game?
You got 2 touchdowns and a win. That's awesome. So, but
Yeah,
I think we should wrap it up here, boys. It's getting to be about
you know,
that time.
we're looking at going to Charlotte next week with these great group of guys. We're all looking forward to that as well. I mean, we all had a lot of Michigan the last couple nights, but Charlotte, it's always a wild card. Daytona in 2 weeks, that should be an amazing
Yep.
race.
That'll
Yep.
be a good one.
Malachi, thanks for checking in. You're great. You might need to help us. You might be our mathematician here in a
We
couple
may need to
weeks.
pull him in the booth and give
Yeah.
us an update on the points.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, you
A
know,
lot of racing coming up though. Charlotte's a wild card, like you said, Dustin. Daytona's a wild card. Bristol, short track racers. We haven't
Also, another wild card.
we
we
haven't
don't
seen
do
that.
a lot of short tracks in this series, right? Bristol's mainly the only one. I think we did Darlington already. The guys that show up on the short tracks, I think that's going to be one of the biggest ones to watch outside of Daytona.
Well, definitely for sure.
Yep.
Bristol is a shot in the dark. You just never know what's gonna happen there. You know, there's always a lot of bumpers and all that. Look
That's just
forward
as
to
bad
that.
as like a Dover. That track binds up in a hurry and collects a lot of cars. So,
What's
yeah, that'll
that-
definitely be one.
What's that old AT&T commercial about? Like reach out and touch somebody. That's
Yeah,
Bri-
reach out and touch someone.
that's Bristol right there. Reach out and
Yeah.
touch somebody, baby.
It don't matter if you have 40 cars on the track or 12. You're gonna touch somebody.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're going to get into somebody on short track racing. It comes with the territory no matter where you run. But from tonight, guys, I mean, Michigan, this was one heck of a run. Ethan Thompson, congratulations on, that win. You take them any way you can get them. So way to go, Ethan, on that one there. Ryan Shelton, you had one heck of a performance coming back up from that
No
pit
fuel.
strategy and no fuel. The finish with a podium P2 and get around Robert Cochran on the last call. Robert, I mean, you had a great run tonight. Congratulations, buddy, on that. I believe you were my pick at the beginning. I believe if you would have just held on and things would have worked out, or you would have been sitting there in P1, got your first victory. Andy Biznek, got to give my hats off to him. I mean, that was one heck of a call to call. Take no tires, only fuel only, and still bring it home within the top 5. So good job for Andrew Biznet. Bradley Hunt, our in-race pit reporter, great guy. Came out there, was involved in a couple of incidents. We saw him get loose a couple times. I mean, he was chasing down Andrew.
Solid
I think
finish.
another
Solid
10,
finish.
15 laps, he would have ended up catching up
Oh,
to Andrew
definitely.
Bisnet and passing him. Robin Pardon, Nicholas Smith, Chuck McDonald, Larry Patrick, Rick Kohler. Everybody had a tough night on those guys. They were involved in early incidents. And that was like one heck of a run for everybody tonight. So congratulations to everybody out there. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for YouTube and supporting us and dealing with us
Absolutely.
Thank you,
every
Back
week. We enjoy
Sports.
it.
Dealing with it.
And I'm not sure. It says Hunt 108 and it says great job, Brad. So that's got to be Brad's girlfriend or wife, I'm assuming. I'm not sure her name, but thank you. She checks in and says great job, Brad. So there's a
See,
Brad supporter out
I,
there.
s- I saw that and I didn't say anything about it. I assumed that was Bradley Hunt just shouting himself out.
Okay, yeah, well, I'm not sure, but and then Striker says, "Good job up there, thank you, and great race, everyone." Striker, like I said, one of these days, buddy. I mean, he started really good. He started, he had a great top 5 car, and then
Right.
just,
He's got
know,
the speed. He's got the speed. He
we
has to
just,
work on the discipline a little bit, but he's
but
got the speed. He's got the speed to make it. And I know one of these races he's going to be up there running for a win. One last shout out to our sponsors. So 4 races to go. Everyone's fighting for points. Those points will lead to the trophy board provided by B&B Wraps, facebook.com/b.b Racing Wraps. Of course, McConeySetupShop.com for all your setups. One more shout out to Film Heat for having me on their podcast last week and doing that racing bracket. There will be a Burning Rubber 2 racing bracket, so stay tuned. Of course,
They're actually with that Film Heat Burning Rubber too. They're looking at in our Discord in TDR. They're looking for movies from us. So people just put your movies out there. They'll make a bracket out of us. We all can't wait for that.
yeah, that's a very good point, and I can't believe as the media man, I didn't allude to that. So yes, if you post in the Discord a movie they should feature, I think we'll do a poll in TDR as well. I have added the Film Heat crew to the TDR group,
I
so
think
be on
Glenn
the.
is it Glenn Tommy? Is that his name, Glenn?
I don't know a Glenn. We have Argo, Jeremy, who goes by Tweakalicious, on the internet. Eric
Somebody,
Money or E Money, and then Justin King are the
yeah. Well,
four
somebody
primary
posted
hosts.
in there just feeding his thread. Looking for burning rubber too. Just feed into that. I know I feed it in my pick as 6-pack. Tommy, you kind of pick some picks in there.
I threw like 10 at them. I was
Yeah,
like, "Oh,
yeah.
you want some racing movies? Here's some racing
I
movies."
mean, there's some good racing movies out there that they love it. Just fill in your
And
choices.
I should say they don't necessarily need to be racing movies, but they have to be themed around burning rubber. So I threw up Gone in 60 Seconds, one of my favorite movies. It's about the cars, it's about the driving. It's not about racing necessarily, but it's a great movie, and I think it needs to be on one of those lists.
In a way, you're racing back to those crates. Just
Or you're just racing police car drivers. I mean,
that. I mean,
there you
Gone in
go.
60 Seconds is a great movie. But are you talking the original or are you talking the newer one?
I like them both for their own reasons, but the new one really speaks to my heart because I'm also a big Nick Cage fan.
Yeah,
And again, go check out Film Heat if you're
yeah.
not a racing guy, if you love movies, they do brackets with all kinds of categories. They
They're
do 80s,
either
sci-fi.
live on either Friday or Saturday nights. Check them out on Facebook. That'll announce where they're when they're going to live on
Yep.
that weekend.
And if you want to throw them a like and subscribe, they're on Twitch, twitch.tv/filmheat. All
And
that being said, guys, I think we plugged everybody. Shout out to Back Charities, of course, for helping us do everything we do with
yeah,
Tyler Daniels Racing and the big fundraiser last weekend for the Autism Trail up in Letchworth Park in New York. Gosh, a lot of words are involved in this.
there's too many words. But
Too
thank
many
you to
words.
everybody.
I have been a big supporter of TDR. TDR itself and all the admins in TDR who put on the racing every single night, who take time out of their time to make your life more enjoyable and more fun. That'd be Dustin Valdez, Jim Downham, Andy Shaner, Tommy Bear, Andrew Biz, and everybody else behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, that help us put on these great events, grab these guys together, and provide great racing like this.
Also,
Our hats are off to you.
Two more names to throw in
big
there. Bob
Bradley
Berlew
Hunt and Bob Berlew.
yep, they
Big
just
shout out
got
to the
added.
two guys
All right,
stepping
well,
up
there you
to
go.
help with the day to day. And Bradley Hunt was also our in-car reporter tonight. So
Well, welcome to the group, buds. Glad to
I'm,
have you.
I'm getting winded thanking everybody
Yeah.
for everything they do. There's
You
just so
guys
much
do a
nice
great
people down
job.
here. We gotta cut
See you
this
guys
off.
next
We're
week.
going
All
to
right. Well, Tommy, you
Charlotte
keep
next week.
talking. Yep. Charlotte next week. Keep those talking. Maybe you can get those helicopter blades a spinning and we can get out of here. See y'all next week from Charlotte, North Carolina. Have a good week, everybody, and thanks for all your support.
Absolutely. We will see you soon.